Nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find a better one. Susceptible now before the moment flies.
All right. It is Saturday night. Saturday Night Live. It is Saturday Night Live. Shout out to you guys that are here with us thus far. We got 16 people in the building. Shout out to you gentlemen being here. Appreciate you guys here. Really glad that you guys made it. We got a great topic for tonight. This is a grown man's topic. You know, every once in a while we have to have a topic for just grown men. This not a young man's conversation. This conversation is for mature audiences only, because we're going to be talking about 7 things that us men have a bad habit of doing that not only impacts the life of others, but it greatly impacts our own lives. Sometimes you might be wondering what it is that's going on in your life that's holding you back financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, socially. You may be wondering, like, man, I'm a good dude. I'm not out there wilding. I ain't got no track record. I ain't never put my hands on nobody. They never had their hands put on them. I'm a good dude. So why is it that I'm constantly running up against the wall called fuckery in one way or another? As a good man, we're going to talk about 7 areas of your life in which you, even as a good man, are running into fuckery. Something that's interrupting your life, distracting your life, causing fear or worry or complacency or discouragement in your life on a continual basis. Even though you're good over here, you just somehow can't master this over there. We're going to talk about 7 areas that once you master, either get or by redirecting your life, or just completely getting that particular area and revamping how you look at that situation, in other words, and how you handle that situation. I'm telling you, by example, how life can get better for you, especially for those of you that plan on relocating to other countries and you plan on developing a new life. But do realize the man that's going to come along with you is the person known as you. So we're going to talk about that here tonight. Shout out to you guys. We got 26 people in the building. Appreciate all 26 of you guys being here. I know this is a little bit of improv. I know I usually do it earlier during the day, but I came across this video and I really wanted us men on this channel to discuss it. Shout out to you guys being here. Let's get ready to do these shout outs. Let's add some music first of all. It's Saturday night. Let's have some music going on. There we go. That's what I'm talking about right there. Some good music going on. Shout out to you guys once again for being here this evening on Andrea and Andrea's Love Crossing Borders. Let's get started with our man Will the Thrill with the first Super Chat Cash App. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to my man Black Scorpion, who donated last night on the Cash App. Shout out to you, brother. We appreciate you. This is not a drink in hand. This is just regular everyday orange juice, but you might have a drink in your hand. Just letting you know that you're not drinking alone, no matter what it is you're drinking, brothers. So at the end of the day, my man Will says, what's good, Andrea, and the chat? Like we always say, chat lives matters. He's a good time to be a passport, bro. It is. It really is. We're doing something that most individuals in 3 or 4 generations won't do. I'll say that again. Don't take for granted the fact that you travel the way that you do. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are relocating yet or relocating from your home country at all. But the fact that you are one of the rare people on the planet that actually leave the demographics in which you were born and go travel and visit, in some cases relocate to another location, man, give yourselves a hand of applause.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight.
It's lovely to be here with you guys.
It's so lovely. Everyone's so lovely.
It's lovely to be here with you
While
guys.
clapping mood, I'd like to give a big round of applause to my band,
Oh, yeah.
Chocolate. Sexual Chocolate.
Oh, that's good.
They play so fine, don't you agree?
That is not like an American orange juice. That is natural. All right. He says monk mode still in effect. He say it's not a game. Enjoy the show. This is a note taker, guys. This is a night that you want to get your pen in hand and you want to take you some notes, because I'm telling you, this is going to be an excellent live stream regarding how we can get our lives on track and keep our lives on track as men. And some of the things that you already know, many of these things that we're going to talk about tonight, you already know these things. You just haven't heard somebody else other than yourself say them out loud. And so we're going to talk about those things tonight. Shout out to you and all you guys that have your passports.
Can't you see I got a passport? I got a passport. Hey, I got a passport. I got a passport.
It is Saturday night, and some of you guys got trips coming up, and I appreciate the fact that you guys will be coming down here to Colombia. You guys will be going over to Thailand. Some of you guys will be going to Africa. Some of you guys will be taking, like my man Dave, he's taking his 87-year-old, his 80-plus-year-old parents. For the first time, they've never put a stamp on their passports. At 87 years old, he's taking them to, next week, he'll be taking them to Spain, and they're going to be doing a cruise ship around Europe. So shout out to my brother taking advantage of his passport like that.
Can't you see I got a passport? I got a passport. Hey, I got a passport. I got a passport.
Oh yeah. Don't let nothing get to you. Don't let nothing get you down, because I'm telling you, I appreciate the fact that I got my passport, and I know you guys do too. Shout out to my man Victory being in the building. He said, the great migrate. Don't hate. Yes, sir. Yeah. There are a few of us that are going. We don't want everybody to go. We don't need everybody to go. We don't even encourage everybody to go. Stay exactly where you guys are in your home countries, because at the end of the day, the more of you that stays there, the more it benefits us out here. I'll say that again. The more of you guys that stay there in your home countries, pay your taxes, pay your bills, and make sure that the economy stays strong for the U.S. dollar and the Canadian dollar, as well as the Australian dollar and any of the other countries in the West. We need you guys to stay strong so we can take advantage of it out here. Shout out to you guys being here. We got 31 in the building. Click that like button. I like you. Make sure that you like us too. Shout out to the numero uno, my man Jay Anderson, the great, kind sir, the great. He says, salute to the chat, Andrea, love crossing borders. Salute to you, kind sir, as well. Once again, we got a great topic. That's why I got the hype music going. Oh, yeah. He said, I love the title. Is going to be a great one. Oh, yeah, guys. Like I said, this is a pen in hand, grown-ass man episode. If there's anything, little boy, that's about you, this ain't the episode for you, bruh. I suggest that you go to another channel. There's a lot of people on this Saturday night. You don't need to be here. This is a grown man conversation. You know how when you were young, your parents sent you in another room to go play with the kids? Don't be in here when grown folks talking. That's what this conversation is tonight when it comes to us men. Shout out to you guys. Also, shout out being in the building, my man Philip D himself of the Redden family, second of his name. He said 3 days in a row. Let's get it. Salute to Andre and Andrea. Love crossing borders. Salute to you again, kind sir. Glad that you guys made it here. My man Don, AKA, is in the building. Shout out to you being here, kind sir, as well. He said, good evening, Andre and Andrea. He said, and good evening, you all. Y'all in the building. Shout out to you guys. My man Fernando in the building. He said, what's up, everyone? Shout out to you. It's a happy Saturday. Yes, it is. I hope where you are, it's a happy Saturday. And because here, it's been a great Saturday here in Colombia as well. And it's a holiday weekend. That means that a lot of Colombians have left the city. They're gone to the country region. They've taken their music. They've taken their alcohol. And they are partying like it's 1999. Because that's what Colombians do. When it's a holiday, they leave the big city and go to the small cities and have a ball. And I ain't mad at them. He said, let me get my drink. Like I said, I'm just drinking orange juice, orange/Colombian mango juice. So I'm keeping it healthy tonight, guys. And that is good. That is real good. Shout out to you being here. All right, let me scroll down a little bit more. We got my man Corey Smith of the Smith family here today. Shout out to you, fam. As well as the great one. The great one is here. And he said, hola, mi hermoso, or hermano. He said, dos la, oh, he got me on this one. Dos dias, meaning the Lord. Dias los, you know what? From the east side of Detroit. Shout out to Detroit boys.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
Bendiga, he said, Dios los bendiga siempre. Or siempre. Wait a minute. Siempre? Did I get it right? Siempre? Siempre. Siempre. Did I get a siempre? Correcto? Give me a 1 if I was correct. Shout out to you once again. Shout out to my man, another one of the Detroit boys in the house.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
Don't play with that man, Terrell. You know how he gets. You know how them Detroit boys get. He said, good evening, chat, and big bro. That's him. Big bro. I'm on the road driving from Houston to Mount Shannon, California. Shanta, California. Safe journey for you and all the other truck drivers that are watching the channel or listening, or at least listening to the channel, the live stream tonight. I hope we are keeping you entertained as well as informed. You guys be safe out there, all you truck drivers, man. We support you guys. He said tonight, stop in Tucson. This is a great topic. He said I talked about this earlier today with a friend. Shout out to you. Shout out to a member for a month, my man African National in the building. Yes, sir. Shout out to you. Yeah, Colombia stomped the USA today in soccer. Are we really surprised, gentlemen? Are we really surprised? We got a football game coming up in South America in a couple of weeks too, in Brazil. I wonder who. Wait a minute. Let's look that up real quick. American football game in Brazil. 2024. It's going to be the Green Bay Packers, the Eagles versus the Packers, September 6th. Why is it going to be September? Wait a minute. I'll be in Houston, September 6th for the Black Manosphere Conclave. Yes, I won't be watching that game. All right. Thank you for all the ones, guys. Thank you for all the ones. I appreciate that. Shout out to my man Fraction Jackson in the building. Shout out to you being here as well, brother. Thank you for all the ones. Yes, sir. And Mr. Smith Jones of the Jones family. First of his name. He say, siempre. Okay, I got it. Okay, cool. Thanks, brother. And I'll allow y'all to laugh at my Spanish. I'll have no problem with that. Yeah, that's going to be a good game. Shout out to you guys. All right, let me change the music up a little bit. We got 42 in the building. Click that like button. Once again, we like you. Make sure that you like us too. That invites other individuals into the live stream. So shout out to you. He said, good to see you again, my brothers. Good to see all of us together, man, once again, especially on a great evening, guys. Shout out to you guys being here. Let's get ready to get started, man. Let's not waste any time on this live stream. This is a good one that we got coming up. Let me change the music over. Make it a little bit smoother. Turn it down just a little bit. All right. So let's get ready to get started. The Wi-Fi looks great, so I have no problem with that. And the video in which we are looking at, I got this video from, I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name, but he's almost at a million subscribers if he's not at more than that. Yeah, he's at 1.3 million subs. And Bendros, I forget how to pronounce the brother name, man, but I'm going to definitely give him credit for this particular live stream. He does some great motivational videos for men. And so I came across his channel about a good year ago. And so his podcast, as well as Spotify and other in Apple, in Apple Play, as well as being on YouTube, he's doing an excellent job. So shout out to him, man. And right now, he's at 770. He's on his way to 1 million. He's at 770,000 views. And so I'm going to make sure I put into the title right now to give him credit as we do a reaction to his video. And that video, he did a video on 7 things that usually ruin men. And I didn't want to just put ruin men. There are some of us, our lives end up on effed up mode because of some of the actions that we've taken or didn't take. I'll say that again. Some of us men, our lives end up on effed up mode, not because of the actions that we took, but sometimes because of the actions that we didn't take. So yeah, let me make sure the brother gets credit for that. And let's get ready to get started. All right. Let me make sure the music's not too loud. Okay, cool. And we're looking good there. Let's get started by pulling up his video. And like I said, some of you guys have seen this guy around. He does excellent work. I'll make sure that you guys subscribe to his channel. I'm going to actually drop the link to his channel so we all can actually subscribe. Give me a split second to get that done. Because like I said, I always want to give credit where credit is due. And he does an excellent work in regards to. And once again, we got 42 people in the building. Click that like button. Once I give him credit, we can get started on because I'm trying to pull up his channel so we can subscribe. There we go. So I'm going to drop it in the comment section and we can get started. There we go. Hey, Andre Thomas, shout out to you being in the building, kind sir. Glad that you made it. Glad to see that you made it, sir. Let me get rid of that. And let's go. Let me make sure that that you guys can see the video. Once I see, there we go. We're good. All right, let's get ready to get started, guys. Because like I said, I really wanted to let you guys enjoy this video. Let me get out of the way, shrink me down, and let's get started.
I get to see a lot of men. We've run now 16 classes, and I get to see a lot of men come through the project. And during those 75 hours, as I talk to them and get to meet them and understand and hear their stories, I realize there's some common threads that ruin a man's life. And Every single one of these are things that men do to themselves to end up ruining their lives. And I want to share these with you as not only as a cautionary tale, but as an opportunity for you to go, holy shit, I'm doing this and I need to fix this. Or if you have a son and you know that son needs to hear some of the stuff that I'm sharing with you here, either let him listen to this or instill this message in him, because the things I'm going to share with you here are going to serve as a cautionary tale and an opportunity for you to right the wrong in your life or in the life of someone that you love, right? So let's jump into it. Thing number one, choosing the wrong spouse. In fact, they've done studies on this over and over again, and the number one determining factor of a man's success is who he chooses as a wife.
My wife informed me that she wants a divorce, and I left just to
keep the peace.
Keep the peace, and I'm still here. The locks, I went back the next day and the locks were changed. And
I've been on the street.
Before we go any further with that, one of the problems when I went through this, that through a divorce in the States, some of you other guys have gone through major separations in relationships in the States as well. A lot of times we as men, our strength is to always or quite often look out for other people. A lot of times we'll leave the house so the kids and their mom could have a nice place to stay in. I'll sleep in my car, or I'll sleep in a hotel room to keep the peace. But notice this, we manage statistically to keep everybody's peace but our own. I was just reading an article that men are more ruined psychologically as well as financially through divorces in major relationship separations. Even if you're not married, a major relationship separation, we are ruined more financially and psychologically than women by far. By far, women are not ruined financially when it comes to separations and relationships. By far, women who are the ones who filed for the separation or asked for you to leave or said the relationship is over or asked for the divorce are rarely impacted or blindsided by the separation as much as men are. And so one of the things that I ask us men to do, make sure no matter what you do in this life, look out for your peace. Protect your peace at all costs. I didn't say protect your penis at all costs. We have a bad habit of protecting our penis more than we protect our peace. I'll even go in even further. We'll protect her pussy more than we'll protect our peace. What do I mean by that? We'll enter into a relationship or a situationship that we know that in the long run, this person is not going to benefit us in the long run. They only benefit us momentarily. So they physically satisfy us, and we end up being in a situation that our mental peace is interrupted because we want to get a piece of and giving her a piece of Don't do that, guys. We're past the stage of being controlled by coochie and being controlled by our penis. Protect your peace at all costs. Have no problem with telling a woman or even a job, I'm going to have to look elsewhere. And slowly, or even telling a country, I love you, but I think I'll find my peace elsewhere. And that's what a lot of guys, such as myself, have relocated to other countries, have found peace. So let's continue on, guys.
Streets for about 30 years. And the reason why I become homeless is me and my wife got a crucial divorce. Bad marriage, a broken heart and hit the streets.
Me and my wife getting a divorce. Family, 1 minute they want you to stay. A week go by, time to leave again. So it's just very difficult.
Well, I went through a bad divorce, lost everything I had, and moved out here to start over. went to the doctors, and doctors took me out of work because I got rheumatoid arthritis and my liver's failing.
Lost my house, my kids, my car to a violent relationship.
A broken marriage.
Relationship.
Yeah. Lost it. I have emotional issues I couldn't deal with. Car broke down. Ran into the wrong people at the wrong time. Got robbed. Lost pretty much everything.
Divorce. Then I rented a room. And then I came down with epilepsy and started having seizures. And the guy didn't want me there. And the next thing I know, I was in a assisted living house.
Got a job in a restaurant again, which I was an executive chef with Cheesecake Factory for a number of years, and then came back here and got a job. Got disabled where I couldn't work, and the lady I was with became a drug addict and spent a lot of money, and I became homeless after that.
Before he goes any further,
many men are.
Before she goes any further, these are mainly men that after divorce ended up homeless. I remember I was in Miami, true story. I'm in Miami, and at this time period I was married, and we went to go see Kurt Franklin and Fred Hammond at the Miami Heat Stadium, right? And so you seeing all these Christian folk. This is a good tale of Christian folk. And after the concert, all these Christian folk walking past this one homeless dude that just so happened to be sitting there. But y'all all Christians. Y'all dressed the part. You're looking the part. You got the cologne and perfumes on. You're smelling the part. You just finished praising the Lord for about 3 hours, running up and down the aisles. But when it was time to do God's work, I'm watching hundreds of people walking to their cars, walking past this homeless guy. So before I get there, I already plan on giving him some money, but something urged me. In your fancy suit, Andre, take the jacket off, sit on the ground, and ask him what happened, and have some prayer with him. So I took my little suit jacket off, unbuttoned took my little tie down, and I sat down next to my brother while hundreds of Christians still walking by, them praising the Lord, still walking by, haven't stopped one time. I asked him, I said, what happened, brother? White dude tell me, he said, my wife left me, took my kids. I couldn't handle it. I lost my job. I lost my home. I lost everything. So I gave him about a good $40, $50. And my wife, I said, do me a favor, go get a few bottled waters from the person that's over there selling waters. Go grab some waters real quick. So she grabbed about 3 or 4 bottled waters and gave it to him. And he told his story. He said, he said, as far as I knew, my life was great. He said, I never cheated on my wife, never beat on my wife. I was providing for the family, no issues as far as I thought. And one day she told me that she wanted a divorce. He said, when she took my kids away from me and took the home that I worked so hard for, he said, I just didn't know how to bounce back from that. And he said, that's how I ended up homeless in the streets. So when I tell you, these are not just TikTok videos about what men go through mentally when it comes to choosing and staying with the wrong women, even in other countries. Just because you're coming to Colombia, do not come here with rose-colored glasses thinking that all of these or most of these or every one of these women are good for you. They aren't. There's some great women here, yes. There's some feminine women here, yes. But there are some scammers, there are some party girls, and there are some pay-for-plays, and there are some women that are just not meant for you, no matter how big her butt is or how small her waist is in Brazil, in Africa, in Germany, in Asia. The one thing that I can say about guys that come down to Cali, I want to say this, and I want to give you guys hats off, a salute to you gentlemen, hats off. Most of the guys that come to Cali are patient. Even if some of the guys come down and go to the brothels every once in a while for the there is no streetwalkers in Cali. So in the few that you do see, bruh, it's like going to a zombie movie. So you ain't this ain't Parque Yeris, or and it's not Cartagena with a clock tower. That's why dudes that come from Medellin take their happy butt right back to Medellin, because it's not easy access to the ladies of the night. You either got to go to a brothel or a strip club or a swinger spot here in Cali, Colombia. So what am I saying? A lot of times I appreciate, and I want you guys to know this, some guys come down here to Cali, Colombia on their first trip and they didn't smash nothing and had a great trip because they had peace. I know guys that came down here 2 or 3 times, ain't smashed nothing. And on the 4th trip or the 5th trip, met the person that was meant to introduce them to Colombia the right way. I know guys that are married now. I know guys that are in stable relationships now. I know guys that have kids now down here, guys that have started businesses because they didn't let coochie or their own penis control their peace. Some of you guys are going to come to Colombia. I got news for you. God may be sending you here for peace and not just to get a piece. If you get a piece, cool. Nothing wrong with that. But if you just come to Colombia and you just have peace for a week or 2, that might have been your purpose for coming. So don't feel like you missed out if you didn't get a peace, but you ended up leaving with peace. And I want to say I'm proud of you, brothers. That's the one thing I can say about Cali dudes. We do not come out here like we just with our tongue hanging out. Look at the ladies. Oh my God, look. No, that's Medellin. That's what y'all do. All you Medi heads, that's what y'all do. Y'all the thirsty dudes. All you dudes that go to Bogota, yeah, y'all thirsty over there. All you dudes that go to the clock tower, keep your thirst down there in Cartagena. Right on up there, y'all go keep on, say where you're going. You come to Cali, Colombia, you might not find as many pieces of coochie, but you will definitely find peace in Cali, Colombia. And that's why we have more dudes that actually live here when they decide to live in Colombia compared to get a piece of coochie like they do in Medellin. I don't see none of y'all in Medellin ever talk about having peace, do y'all? When the last time y'all saw a video of a dude that's in Medellin talking about, I found my peace? Other than maybe Life with David? The rest of the YouTube videos are about dating the girls in Medellin, how to pick up girls, picking the right woman, all of that in Medellin. They don't never talk about having a peace of mind in Medellin, do they? What about Cartagena? I went to Cartagena and I found, dude, I got such a peace of mind. They don't put out no videos like that in Cartagena about Cartagena. Hell no. We partied in Cartagena. We went to the beach in Cartagena. We turned it up in Cartagena. They got them videos out there, and nothing wrong with none of those things. There isn't anything wrong with any of those things. Enjoy yourself, gentlemen and ladies. But when you come to Cali, you can get that in which you guys are acquiring, the fun part. But the one thing that Cali is known for is peace. I ain't got the rush to do shit. I ain't got to run around trying to keep up with the Joneses. My boy got 5 chicks last night. I got to pretend like I'm going to get 5 chicks tonight. You ain't got to do none of that in Cali. And Cali is not tourist tarnished, like I always say. In other words, if you come to Cali, they still not used to tourists being down here. To where y'all to F that up in Medellin. Y'all to F that up in Cartagena. Bogota, please. Y'all to F that up in Bogota. Sosua, Santo Domingo, they used to seeing tourists. Cali's not. And the other thing I can say about Cali that women in Bogota and Medellin don't do either. Women, y'all done messed up the heads or the minds of the women in Medellin. They think that they are just supermodels extraordinaire. Women in Medellin, y'all got their heads so juiced up and hyped up. These women actually think that they're the most beautiful women in Colombia. But tell a Medellin woman that you're going to Cali and see what happens, how she react. Go ahead. All you dudes that got Medellin girlfriends, tell your little girlfriend tonight that you're going to Cali just to see what happened. What you going there for? Everything you need is here. I'm everything you need. Are you sure you want to go? You want to go to Cali? Baby, I love you. Them same women that y'all hype up as if they all that in Cartagena, tell your little Cartagena girlfriend that you come to Cali. No, you not. Yeah, I'm going to Cali, hang up my boy Andre. You ain't going without me. You ain't going to Cali. Not with all those women that don't know how beautiful they are. You see how I did that? Cali women so gorgeous, they still don't even know they gorgeous yet. In other words, it ain't been a bunch of tourists running down here, messing up their heads like y'all did women in Sosúa, in Santo Domingo, like y'all did women's minds in Medellin, Bogota, Cartagena. The women actually think that they all that because of you dudes, but not here in Cali. The Cali women still don't know. Y'all sitting up there in Cartagena, taking them to your Airbnbs with the swimming pool and everything. And y'all wondering why they treat y'all like trash now 2-3 years later, because 15 dudes can come down and take them to a swimming pool now. That's nothing to them. I remember when my boy Kings and Dreams, shout out to Kings and Dreams. Before we go back to the video, Kings and Dreams came here and he said, this is the first trip here. And he started sending me and my boy TA, who's ex-Navy brother who lives here. We're sitting around having drinks at a bar, and Kings and Dreams are sending us these Airbnbs. I'm like, I say, TA, look at. He said, why is this dude getting jacuzzis and pools? And I say, Jay, no, this Cali, bruh. We don't spoil our women like. What are you doing? Oh man, you know how we. I say no, that's how y'all do in Medellin. Y'all spoil y'all women with swimming pools and jacuzzis in Medellin. You ain't gonna mess our women up thinking that's what they supposed to be getting. Get rid of that, bro. Get you another Airbnb. So he sent me a few more. I said no, that's still too fancy, bro. Get rid. Oh, there we go. That's a good one. There you go. That's a good one. That one right there. Those two are good. There you go, Kings. All that coming with the jacuzzis and all. No, we don't play that down here in Cali. We don't spoil our women like that in Cali unless that's your woman. Like Andrea is my woman. Yes. But somebody that you coming down here to smash in Cali? No. All the jacuzzis and y'all crazy. That's why y'all got. That's why y'all pay for play prices are off the chart in Cartagena and in Medellin, because y'all effed it up. But my point in telling that story is, let's continue on. Cali is completely different. It is. He said he speaks the truth. Do not tell women that you are going to Cali. They will have a fit. And if you think the great one is lying, I dare, and I mean double dare, any of you dudes that you think your woman in Medellin is the finest woman in Medellin, you think your little Cartagena queen is all that, you think your bae in Bogota is all that, I dare you tonight, just to see what she would say, text her and tell her that you're going to Cali, Colombia, and watch the hell that break loose. They know they cannot compete with Cali women. They know they can't compete. And that's why they act a dang fool. He said, come on, Dre, those women in Medellin are super aggressive. He said the women are running up on us tourists. You know why? because it's a tourist tarnished town. It's tarnished. They look at you for what we've been presenting for the last 5-10 years. Proceeds, sponsorship. Women in Cali don't know nothing about all that. Women in Cali ain't gonna run up on you as no tourist. You know what type of tourists come to Cali? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Who come here all the time? White boys. European white boys, not American white boys. European white boys be here. Switzerland, Austria, parts of New Zealand come down here. The white boys from Sweden come down here. Not even UK white boys come down here. That northern cold front, Iceland, that's who comes to Cali. You brothers don't come to Cali. Y'all don't come to Cali. But them European white boys are always in Cali. All guarantee. It's always at least 50 European white boys and white women here in Cali, Colombia. Every time. You'll never miss them. They're always here. So yeah, but as far as you guys that's in those tourist tarnished cities, yeah, they're gonna run up on you. Because you guys have introduced and came to Medellin and introduced your wallets first. So of course women gonna run up on men that produce wallets first. We don't do that in Cali. That is not happening. You do that here in Cali, man, your boys will put you in check. Like, man, what are you doing? That's what we do in Medellin. Nick, this ain't Medellin. Yeah. Shout out to you guys being here once again. Let me show you. Shout out to my man Popsicle Pete in the building. Yes, sir. He say, what's good, brother? 60 times. He say 60. Brother, 60. Something more. 2 days to go. He say still going to get that consultation. Okay, cool. Cool. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, Pete, for being here. And my Canadian brother is definitely here in the building.
I told this guy where I was from. He said, oh, Canada. Shout
Shout out to you. And my man, Uncle Luke in the building. I must be doing something right. I got Luke here. Here we go. He said, I'm here in bed and kids. Y'all see what he doing. The first line tell you he doing it the right way. I'm going to say this again. The first line is telling you he's doing it the right way. I am here in Bartamante, Colombia. Even these Latinas are different than the Cartagena and Medellin. You see how I just said that he's doing it the right way. If I kid you not, I would go to Cartagena for the historical experience. If I was a single guy, I'm going for the historical experience. I might club a little bit. If I'm really trying to be serious about Colombia, I'm going 2 hours down the road. I'm in Bartamante, and 2 more hours down the road, I'm in Santa Marta. But if I'm looking for somebody that I'm going to be serious about, there's no way hell I'm looking through Cartagena. Y'all crazy. I met my wife in Cartagena. Let me see how that work out in 5 years, bro. Let me see how that works out in 5 years. Ain't no way I'm messing with Cartagena females. Unless I'm just smashing them. But you see my brother, I am here in Bartamante. He's doing it the right way. Bartamante is a beach town. They're about to bring cruise ships to Bartamante. It has this history with Shakira and Sofia Vergara coming from a Bartamante area. Yeah, it has a Middle Eastern flair there as well as the Colombian flair. So yeah, he's in the right city. And they have the major festival there every year in February. Yeah, you're doing it right, brother. He said, I like the women here. They are more low key. Yes, they are in Bartamante. Yes, they are. Shout out to Bartamante area. You are not lying. Let's get back to the video, guys. Shout out to all you guys that are here. My man, it's the weekend man is in the building. It's Freeze TV, as well as my man Avon. 2 alphas in the building. He said, understandably, one step at a time. Tis true, my friend. He said, I've never been to Cartagena, but first step was Medellin. All of us, broke our tooth on Medellin, all of us. He said, it's night and day from the States. This is true, brother. This is true. This is true. Most of us started in Cartagena or Medellin, so that's without a doubt. Let's get back to the video, guys. Let us get back to the video. Move me out of the way.
Demasculated every day in marriage. And really, a man that goes home every day and is disrespected by his wife and children is a man in prison. Modern marriage is a prison for men. Men deserve respect, and husbands deserve to have authority over their own home. Until women start understanding this, you will see marriage disappear forever. And unfortunately, this is rampant even in Christian and Catholic churches. As a Catholic, this makes me very sad, but unfortunately, there are women's groups that absolutely ruin marriages today. They teach things like mutual submission and only submitting to your husband when he's submitting to God. Why does the wife get to determine when he's submitting to God? On top of that, they have started to allow women preachers to preach in the church and women to impose their will on men. No, 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 no. All of this nonsense is really driving men from churches. You're going to start looking around in your local church and you're going to notice that men under the age of 35 are gone. Nasky nada. Couples are disappearing because, in all honesty, many of the men in churches don't have a backbone and still appeal to the whim of what women want. What women want comes second. What men want should come first. I am really tired of seeing these simps and modern women ruin churches. Patriarchy is a good thing. Men are supposed to be the head of the household.
And the reality is this: when you choose someone as a wife, are you choosing someone who is going to be a believer in your dream, who is going to advocate for you, who is going to be the wind in your sails, who is going to be your support system? And hopefully you're going to do all of that for her as well, right? Or are you rescuing someone? Are you the type of man who is the Captain Save-A-Ho, for lack of a better term? Are you trying to rescue her from, because she's broken, she's damaged, and she is codependent on you, and it feels good in that moment while you're dating her? So next thing you know, you put a ring on it, and then she is chaotic, she is sporadic, she is not a supporter of your dreams, she is emotionally reckless, and therefore every time you try and launch a business, you try and do something great, you try and live your life's purpose, you have to deal with the chaos that is your spouse, right?
Before he goes any further in regards to that, he's absolutely correct. He's 100% correct. A lot of us men have not or had not accomplished the goals in life in which we really want to accomplish because we were so busy trying to bring peace into a relationship that was falling apart because of the chaotic woman. How many times in the Bible does God warn us about women, men? How many times in the book of Proverbs? How many times does he says, don't follow that particular woman? There's another verse that I had quoted in the book of Proverbs where it says, she does her dastardly deeds and wipes her mouth as if she's done nothing. That's in the book of Proverbs. Also in the book of Proverbs, it makes the statement of, it is better to eat soup on the roof of a tin on the roof of a house than to live in a mansion with a difficult woman. Some of you guys are successful. You're able to get the mansion, but you will sit in the driveway, or you will drive past your home, or you will go to happy hour before you go into your home because you know what's waiting for you inside of that mansion, a problematic woman. But when you first got her, you thought she was the greatest thing. We all make mistakes. Many of us men are divorced or divorcees. I think you can still use that for men. Many of us men, many men that I talk to are divorced men. We've all been in relationships and it didn't work out. No problem. There are a few of us that were the ones that filed for the divorce. I filed for divorce. And I know other guys that file for divorce. They say that 66% of all stepdads are the ones that file for the divorce whenever divorces are filed. Say this again. When it comes to blended families, a blended family, you're a stepdad. when it comes to when you finally file a divorce in a normal relationship, in a normal marriage, 71 to 80% of the time is the woman when there's no step parenting involved. But when there's step parenting involved, 66% of the time, the man files for the divorce, such as myself and other men. So if the Bible warns you, your community warns you, your gut warns you, why are you going to other countries and still trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho? Can you guys answer me that? Could you riddle me that, Batman? Why is it that you guys are coming to Colombia, and like I said, out of all the women I've dated, only one person ever had a child. So do not try to tell me about every woman in Colombia got kids. That's bullshit. I still got Colombian female colleagues and friends today, ain't got no kids. 28, 29, 31, 32, 27, ain't got no kids. So when y'all sit back and try to tell me who live here that barefaced lie that, well, everybody got kids. No, everybody that you F with got kids. Because you gravitate to those type of women where she got a big butt and I got to smash that. Great, I got to have that. And then y'all want to boo them up. You said that you don't want to deal with baby mamas in the States, right? You said that you don't want to deal with baby mamas in Canada. You said Australia, you done with baby mamas. You listen to Kevin Samuels while you was in UK. You ain't dealing with no baby mamas. So why the you coming to these other countries, coming to Thailand and dealing with baby mamas? Why the heck y'all booing up baby mamas in the continent of Africa? I halfway give it to you when you just smashing her, but y'all ain't just smashing her. You dudes are falling into full blown out relationships with baby mamas. So you couldn't find nobody in South America, all of Brazil, all of Chile, all of Colombia, all these 250,000 2 million Venezuelans that have come to Colombia. You couldn't find not one of them that was attractive, or at least 10 to 12 of them that was attractive and didn't have a baby mama in a continent full of the most gorgeous women in the world. You tell them you couldn't find none of them. So all the black women here in Colombia got kids, and all the ones that I've smashed ain't got kids. Oh yeah, the sisters too. I smashed sisters. Yeah, in the past I smashed sisters when I was all up in Medellin and all up in hanging out in Cartagena. Yeah. They ain't had no kids. So who the hell y'all think y'all be talking to when it comes to you dudes gravitate to somebody you need to rescue. You gravitated to a chick in the States that you need to rescue and it didn't work out, and her name was your ex-wife. And you took that same energy and got a passport.
Can't you see I got a passport? I got a passport. Hey, I got a passport. I got a passport.
And you thinking if you just could be able to make it to South America, you could be different, not realize you're bringing that same energy with you, and all you attract is women that need to be rescued. That's why you Western Union poppy dudes exist. Y'all sending money to DR to women to rescue. That's why you dudes that do pay for play. Come on, let's be real. All you dudes that's doing pay for play out there and you sponsoring chicks to keep them from the streets, babe. How much do you make a day in pay for play? Well, I make about $50 a day, baby. Why? I'm gonna send you $500 a week to don't sell that coochie no more. You will? And she gonna play innocent. And I've heard this story time and time again. And I got a couple of guys I've talked to off that cliff. Yes, I've had guys I've talked to on this phone that were sponsors for pay-for-play chicks to try to get her from the streets. Y'all always got to rescue some damn body. with all these women out here that don't need rescuing. But you so insecure about your manhood and who you are. That's the number one mistake that he's talking about right now. Of the 7 ways that a man will F up his life is continually choosing the wrong women. Even, I'm going to add to it, even in another country. You dudes come down. Okay. How many prostitutes y'all going to save in the United States? Wait a minute, hold up. They got some cuties at the Bunny Ranch in Vegas. Why don't y'all fly y'all happy asses to Vegas and save those women at the Bunny Ranch? Baby, how much do you get paid a week, a day on the Bunny Ranch? Baby, I'll sponsor you. You ain't never got to sell that coochie again in Las Vegas or in LA or in Chicago. Baby, how much you getting paid by your pimp in Oakland? Baby, you ain't never got to worry about that again. Wait a minute, y'all ain't doing that in the States? Oh, wait a minute, that's not what y'all do in the States? Then why are you doing it in South America? Why are you trying to take females off the strips in other countries, other continents? The song says, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. And most of the time when you guys try to save a chick from the streets of Sosua, she got 5 dudes that think just like you, and all 5 of you dumb, ignorant mother are sending her money. And guess what she doing? You sending her $500, another one sending her $300, another one sending her $700, and another one sending her $500. Guess what she's doing? She's still on a stroll selling that coochie to the next brother that's getting off the plane because she likes it. Stop coming to other countries and trying to rescue chicks from the plight in which they have. If she wants to be rescued, so be it. But out of all these women you can rescue, stop trying to rescue pay for play. Stop trying to rescue women that are baby mamas in South America. Some of y'all got it. Like I said this, while women in the United States are coming out with all these TikTok videos about y'all, talking about passport bros, they going for women without an education. Wait till they find out that y'all bring y'all tails down here and rescuing baby mamas, but y'all refuse to pay child support in the States. Wait a minute. He don't want to pay child support for his little junior in his country in the United States. Sister, he don't want to. But he wants to go to Colombia and take those same proceeds and give it to a baby mama and sponsor another man in Colombia's child. And in Colombia, among men, that is a scarlet letter. Ask Colombian men about being with a woman that's a baby mama. Oh, they'll smash them, but booing them up, man, please. The only one that's booing up baby mamas in Colombia is all you foreign brothers. I'll say that again. All you foreign brothers that's marrying them, booing them up instead of just smashing them and moving about your business. You think that you can rescue? I can rescue her and her child, and she's got the cutest daughter. I can get her from the streets if she's a good girl. She's a good woman. All she needs is somebody to help her out. How much? You make $50 a day? I'll send you $500 a week just to stay off the streets. And a lot of you, and some of you brothers in the comment section right now in this chat, you either know somebody that's trying to rescue a chick from being paid for play, or you tried to rescue a chick from being paid for play. How did that work out, player? How did that work out for your boy who tried to rescue a chick in Sosua from being paid for play? Did that work out for him in the long run? What about you in the long run where you tried to make a girlfriend out of a chick that was a pay for play? How'd that work out for you in the long run? I'm not talking about in a couple of months. I'm talking about in about a good year. Is she back on them streets? Oh, she is? That's what I thought. Stop coming to these countries trying to rescue somebody. I got more respect for you guys that come down here and don't mess with nobody and keep your own money in your pocket. than you dudes that try to come down here all the time trying to rescue some damn body because you insecure about your life. So you need to rescue somebody to feel good about you. Man, if you don't use that money and get some counseling while you back in the States and come back to these countries and act like you a saber-toothed tiger and a silverback gorilla and a shark. Why I say shark? Why did I say if you come to Thailand, be a shark? Because you can devour everything. Nope. Shark is one of the only animals, in order for it to survive, meaning to breathe, it has to always be moving forward. It has to always be progressing. Sharks, when the last time y'all saw a shark just floating right there? Sharks don't stop like that. That's in the movies. In order for a shark to breathe, it has to take in the water and then separate it, and then the water that they don't need goes out in their gills, just like regular animals. But sharks have to be in perpetual motion. They've got to stay in motion. A shark can drown in the ocean if it's not in motion. That's why I say if you're going to come back to Thailand, go back as a shark in perpetual motion forward. Come to Colombia, be a shark, perpetual motion forward. If you're not moving forward, it's to your own demise, just like a shark. Just like a shark. But all this rescuing chicks in South America, Central America, Asia, man, you got to stop all that. Because it's too many good women with a big butt and a small waist and a beautiful smile and dimples that don't have any kids. I know plenty of them down here. I'm your recon boy. So if I say something, it's the truth. There are plenty of good women down here that ain't got nan kid. And I'm talking about between the ages of 23 all the way to 43. I got female colleagues and associates down here, and they don't have any kids, and they are gorgeous. Dre, hook me up. That will never happen. Why? You ain't got shark in you. You ain't got shark in your spirit. You didn't hear what I just said for the last 20 minutes? You are a dude that like to rescue people. I don't need to hook you up with my friends and you got a rescue spirit. You just left Medellin trying to rescue some chicks. You just left Cartagena rescuing a baby mama. And you think I'm supposed to introduce you to my friends that are single women, that are good women? Oh, hell no. That'll never happen. No. So the number one thing he said, he's absolutely correct. A woman is supposed to be there for your support, to encourage, to help you out. Dude, I already know Love Crossing Borders would not be Love Crossing Borders without Andrea. My health would not be on the level that it is. My health is at the age of a 22-year-old. Inside and out, I am healthy. I've got the receipts to show it. But I know if it wasn't for Andrea, with the foods that she prepared, with making sure that I have my checkups, making sure that I have my high blood pressure pill, making sure that I have cholesterol clean, colon is on point, making sure everything is extra wax is out the ear, podiatrist for my feet, make sure my toes looking on like a baby toes, all that, everything physically. I already know if it wasn't for this woman, I would have took a lot of stuff for granted that she doesn't take for granted when it comes to her husband's health. When it comes to giving me space to take care of our digital marketing business, everything from writing the books to writing the courses to the YouTube channels. None of this could be accomplished without Andrea. You need a person that's going to support you. If you guys sit up there just smashing chicks in Colombia or smashing chicks in Brazil, and someday you want to move there, some of you dudes been coming to Colombia for 4 or 5 years. You got about 60 women that's been in and out of your cell phone. And can't one of them bitches help you get a visa? Not one of them heifers in your phone can tell you about how to get you a Colombian visa. But you got 60 chicks that have either been in your phone at one point in time or another in Colombia. You got 60 chicks that's been in your phone in Brazil. Can't one of them help you when it comes to finding an apartment in the area that you really want to live in and you deserve to live in Brazil. Not one of them heifers. You've been so busy trying to save and impress everybody else. The one person that you should have been trying to save and impress is you, and you're letting yourself down. Let's continue on. Let me hit the super chats. Shout out to you guys. My man Avon, 2 Alpha says, Dre got me in tears. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just sharing the truth. He said, what should I do? What could I? He said, what should I? What could I? For real. Bitch, I want to be. Yeah, for real. They want to. Yeah. And you think Colombian women going to tell you, don't save me. I don't want to be saved. No, they gonna make it seem like, oh, you're going to get me off the streets? Yes, baby. I'll get you off the streets. I'll rescue you. How much do you need for me to send every month? Well, I'm doing this for my grandmother. About 700 will do. And your stupid ass sending $700 a week, $700 a month to some Colombian chick that the Colombian dude is still smashing and laughing. Man, I got partners down here, man. That's like they move like I used to move in the States. So they getting it in. They tell me the stories of when you guys be on the phone calling. These dudes be like, the girlfriend would be like, be quiet for a minute. My sponsor is calling. Hey, Poppy. And give you about a good 10-minute conversation. Did you send the money? Yeah, baby, I sent the money. I love you, Poppy. I love you too, mi amor. Mi amor, mio, mio, mi amor. Hang that phone up, and my partners be giving her the best to the face bust that she'd have never had. But that's your boo. While you still in the States, you bust your butt doing overtime on her behalf. Y'all some stupid mother. I swear, brothers, we can't be going out like this. I told y'all this is a conversation of grown men. We got 101 in here. Click the like button, gentlemen. I like you. Make sure you like us too. So he said the first thing that you need to look out for is getting in the wrong relationship or even situationship with the wrong woman. Shout out to you, Unc. Shout out to you. Let's go back to the video.
Now, obviously, this goes the other way as well. You know, how many women try and marry men who are just like their dads, who are broken, who were mean, who were angry, who were assholes. So they are attracted to that kind of man because they want to fix him. And they realize that they are now living a life of just unsatisfactory life, right? Thing number 2, vice dependency, right? Let's face it. There's a lot of vices out there, and some of them come off as very harmless, right? The occasional drinking, the, hey, I just smoke weed occasionally. Just watch a TV show every now and again, or I just watch, sports all weekend long. But how much of those little vices are there to help you escape and to help you cope with your reality? Like, I get it. Even though I quit social drinking recently, and in fact, what I didn't share with you guys in the video a few episodes ago, the podcast a few episodes ago, when I told you that on November 12th of 2022, I quit social drinking, right? I was never an alcoholic. I never had an issue or dependency with alcohol. But I realized every time I drink a couple of cocktails 3 or 4 times a year, I don't sleep well that night. I get indigestion, I get heartburn. The next morning I wake up and I'm fuzzy headed and I'm a little foggy and I almost like a slight hangover. And I was like, why am I doing this, right? So that same day that I committed and quit drinking alcohol, I was like, you know what? That's it, man. I'm done with this. Well, what is the other thing that I might have a codependency on? And that other thing for me was weed, right? Every now and again, I would either smoke a joint or eat some 3 milligram gummies before I fall asleep to help me sleep better. But I realized, that too is a vice. That too is a level of dependency. Even though it's mild, I didn't want it, because I want to be able to control my faculties fully and completely. And so because of that, I decided to quit all vices. Now those vices show up as a vape pen. You might be like, bro, my vape pen is no, it is something. It is a dependency. It is something that is incongruent. If you wouldn't want your son or your daughter picking up the vape pen, if you wouldn't want your son or daughter drinking occasionally, if you wouldn't want your son or daughter to, smoke weed occasionally or eat a gummy occasionally, we don't want them to binge watch television in exchange for, bypassing their life's purpose because they watched so much TV that they slept in and they didn't focus on their work and they didn't focus on their fitness and their mindset, right? There's so many vices. Vices show up as gambling. Oh, we just went to Vegas and we gambled. Well, is there better things you can do with that money? Doesn't gambling create dopamine hits because of a factor called variable response? Variable response mean, am I going to win this hand? Am I going to win this hand? Or if I pull the slot machine, am I going to win this? Am I going to win this roll? No, I didn't, but I almost got close to winning. I had a 19, they had a 20. The next one's going to be a 21 for sure. That's called variable response. And you get these dopamine hits. Like every single one of us inside, through consciousness, we know exactly the type of man we want to be. Like, you know exactly the type of man you want to be, the core values you want to carry, the character that you want to have, how you want to show up, how you want to articulate, how you want to look, how you want to dress, how you want people to perceive you. And if you are incongruent with that because you have these dependencies on vices, then you might as well get rid of them, because this is thing number 2 of the stupid things that men do to ruin their lives.
Before he goes on to thing number 3, let's talk about this. Usually I'd use the term vices as the term distractions. If you set a goal for yourself for a certain particular thing that you want to accomplish, is what you're doing distracting you from accomplishing that goal? Not everybody can smoke weed like Snoop and make over $500 million. That's Snoop. That's one in a few. There are corporate execs that smoke their weed all day long, but they're corporate execs. We know that whether they smoke or not, there are few corporate execs in the world, whether they smoke or not. So let's not go and say, well, I know some people that, that's few and far between that can sit up there and drink alcohol all week long or gamble all week long and still accomplish the goals that you need to accomplish. We all know this, right? So I consider to ask you not about vices, because some of you guys can drink, it's no problem. Like Snoop Dogg and Cat Williams can smoke all the weed they want, but they're both at the top of their genre. Not everybody can do that. So I ask you to ask yourself, what are your distractions? What's trying to distract you in your life from accomplishing that? Whether it be an excuse that you give yourself, you know what? I had a long night. I ain't sleep well anyway. So let me go ahead and hit this alarm clock. I did tell myself I was going to go to the gym at 7 o'clock this morning, but you know what? I'm going to give me another hour and a half sleep. Now it's 8:30, and now you feeling disappointed in yourself because you allowed something to distract you from what you told yourself you were going to do. That sleep, or that extra sleep, let me put it like that, distracted you from what you wanted to accomplish. What is your distractions? You said you're going to come to Colombia and you want to relocate here. All you've been doing since you've been coming to Colombia is pay for play. Nothing wrong with pay for play, but once it starts to distract you, now you got a problem. Just like there's nothing wrong with smoking your weed. But if it's distracting you, now you got a problem. All you vape dudes, if that's distracting you from focusing on you said you're going to start running. You know what? I'm going to run 3 times a week. But if you're vaping and trying to run too, that might not work together. So again, I ask yourself, be honest with yourself. What is your distractions? I knew what my distractions was. Oh yeah. Remember I told you guys, I could have accomplished a lot more in my life. And I have a really good life. I'm blessed. But it could have been accomplished at a younger age if it wasn't for me trying to smash everything that came my way. Some of us brothers don't know how to sit our butt down when it comes to coochie. Some of us brothers don't know how to just have a regular healthy sex life as a man. Some of us, we way overboard with it. Well, Andre, you can't judge another man's sex life. No, I'm not judging your life. I'm asking you to ask you, is it a distraction? For me, so many women, laying down with so many women, eventually over time showed itself in my life, in the lives of many other brothers, as a distraction, meaning I could have accomplished all this goal and even more at an earlier age if I wasn't so busy smashing Aisha, Keisha, LaWanda. I'm sounding like DMX now. I'm willing to admit that if I go cheat on my wife today, within a month, I'll be done ran through 16 females easy. To thyself be true. That is a distraction. Knowing that you're the type of guy that could run through 16 women in a month behind your wife's back. You know who you are. I know who I am. I'm not about to sugarcoat life. I'm 56 going on 57. No more sugarcoating. I know how I am around women. Some of you dudes, you can smash one chick and don't nobody know. You can have you a side chick and won't nobody know that you got you a side chick. Not Andre. I don't do a side chick. I do side chicks, plural. I do side chicks. If I had a side chick, I'm disappointed in myself. I built one hove, build another hove, and another hove, and another hove. And since I know that I'm like that, and I know that, in other words, cheating for me can be a distraction, I don't do it. Not because my body doesn't want to, and my eyes don't see all these sexy chicks, and these women don't run up on me and say, Andre, you want some extra coochie? I had one gorgeous chick tell me, she said, I know how to play my position. Whenever you... What? I know how to play my... This Colombia, one of the cheat capitals of the world. If you can't find no side chicks in Colombia, you really doing something wrong. But for me, it's a distraction. It's an interruption. How is it for you? What is it in your life that you can sit back and say, I could accomplish my American dream 10 years ago if it wasn't for this particular vice, or, like I said, distraction, interruption. So number 2, he said, was vice. But for me, like I mentioned before, gentlemen, hey, beautiful. Thank you, baby. I see you, sexy boo. Shout out to Mrs. Spence in the building. JG says this. He said, people respect you when they realize that you got a brain. Thus saith the wizard. Shout out to you, man. And JG said this. He said, people respect you when they see that you got sense as well. And a part of that, having some sense in my head, is being honest with myself. As I've gotten older, I stopped lying to me. Not just lying to women or lying to you guys, but lying to myself about self. Andre, you really are a good dude. Stop putting yourself in F situations. And so let's go on to the next one, guys. You don't need to hear me go on my soapbox. Shout out to you guys being here. We got 106 people in the building. Salute to you guys all. My man Munchie says this. He said, precisely why the girls in Colombia are jealous. They know that there's no shortage of chicas, true, that will sleep with another girl's man and keep it, bruh. If you don't for all you dudes that don't know what we're talking about, I actually was stupid enough to think, this is Andre, I was actually stupid enough to think that in other countries, it wouldn't be as easy to cheat on your wife as it is in the United States. Until I came to Colombia. And these women will literally look you in the face. You can walk past them with your maid or with your wife or with your girlfriend in the grocery store. And these women will play their position. They won't embarrass you. They won't say anything. They will stay focused. They won't text you from the other aisle. I saw you and your wife. None of that. They will keep their he ain't never lied. These women here have no problem telling you, I will play my position. I know who I am to you. I'm like, man. Focus, Andre, focus. Kid you not. My man David in the building. Dave said this. He gets right here. There we go, Dave. Dave says, I had to check myself this week, Andre. Got to be real with yourself first to achieve anything. And it's not just the vice of, see, mine was the women. What is yours? Some of y'all don't know how to just, I know people, let's be real. How many of us have had that one coworker dude that that leave for lunch and come back smelling like every form of liquor that you can imagine? Walk past your desk or come into the warehouse smelling like pure D raw alcohol. Like, dude, my ass. Did you go to your car and get drunk on lunch break? Oh man, I just had a couple. Is that your vice? Instead of just having drinks on a Friday night or Saturday night, is your vice you got to go to your car and have a drink to get through life? There are a lot of men that do. What about your weed habit? Do you got to go to your car during lunch break and fire one up? I got to roll one up, man. Fuck this, man. My boss stressing me out, dog. Get on my last nerve with it. He get on my last nerve with this, bro. He get on my last nerve with this. Are you one of those dudes that your vice can cause you to lose your job and now you got to look for another job? Or now they talk about that they're doing a test, a drug test. Now you're trying to drink all these type of different elixirs that's out there. Yeah, they said if I drink this, the weed won't show up in my system. You telling me your weed habit is at the point where you gotta pretend like you one person in order to keep your job? Let's be real. You gotta pretend. I know people that gotta pretend and drink certain elixirs to even get the job because they know the job comes with a blood test. What are your distractors? What are your interrupters? That's number 2 that he's talking about. Your vices. If your vices get to the point where they're interrupting or distracting your life, you need to do something about those vices. If they're in your life and they're a distraction from your goal or are interrupting the goal, you're in the middle of the goal, and all of a sudden your vice shows up and it's to a point where it stops or alters the direction of you and your goal, you need to do something about that. Like I did. First thing I did was admit what my flaw or vice was. And then I could work on it. I was no longer lying to myself about it. So now let me read the books. Let me go get some counseling. Let me get some help. Yes, I went to counseling for this. Now I know that in my family we have addictive behavior disorder. That's why I'm a workaholic. That's addictive behavior disorder. That's why I'm a person that when I go into a relationship, I give all in. That's why when I'm a person that's partying, I party with the best of them. because that addictive behavior disorder always pushes you over the edge. And that's why when it comes to, if I was to be a cheater, I'm all in. Why? That addictive behavior disorder that runs in my family. I might not be hooked on heroin, but I might be hooked on heroin. You see where I'm going with that? But I went to counseling for that. Shout out to you, brothers. Let me get back to our regularly scheduled programming. He's about to give us number 3. Número 3. Número 3.
Because all of these things on a micro scale is a non-issue. On the macro scale, over years and then decades, is how you ruin your life, is how you look back when you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s and realize that, man, this is who I was supposed to be, but instead I'm way over here because of these micro decisions I made to get addicted or to at least get dependent on vices that didn't serve my life. Thing number 3 that men do to ruin their life is they settle in a profession. They settle in a profession and they don't pursue their life's work. They go, well, you know, I've got a wife, I've got a kid, so I need to create this income. I need to get a paycheck coming in on a consistent basis, and it comes with health benefits and vacation pay. And I get it, 401k and all that stuff. You settle in a profession that you're not necessarily excited about. I'm not saying like quit your job tomorrow and put your family and your livelihood at risk. But what I am saying is, if you're doing something and you're in a state of just being this robot, coming in and mindlessly working for an organization that you don't necessarily get value from, that doesn't necessarily fill your cup, what can you start doing on nights and weekends to start creating that purpose-driven work, to start figuring out what you want to do, either by working for another organization that is more aligned with your life's work and purpose, or creating your own business that is aligned with your core purpose. Because a man who is settling into a profession and not pursuing their life's work is a man who is slowly committing suicide. I am convinced of that. The slowest form of suicide, the slowest form of death, is to be doing something as a vocation that is not your life's work or passion or purpose.
Before he goes any further in regards to that, he's absolutely correct. There's nothing wrong with, we got to pay our bills. That's what it is. We all understand that responsibilities as a good man to yourself as well as to your family. You got responsibilities. You know, good man is provider, protector, problem solver, and penis. I'll say it again. You're the penis of the family for your wife or your girlfriend. You're the provider. You're the problem solver. You're the protector. That's who you are. And so nobody's saying, like he said, don't quit your job tomorrow. But what I did for this journey to Colombia, remember, I was making $87,000 a year as a academic college recruiter. I'm sitting in my cubicle, but I'm looking miserable. I'm looking miserable. Let me see if I can pull up those photos. I'm not looking like a happy camper while I'm in the States. I realized that my life was kind of like pigeonholed. I had painted myself into a corner to where I had to wait for a promotion or a raise to make more money. I'll say this again. One of the mistakes that I made was I put myself in a position to where I had to wait for somebody to give me a raise, wait for somebody to give me a promotion, until I realized I literally didn't have to do that. I didn't have to do that, but I thought that I did. And so then you find out that, you know, in life that you don't have to do that, that you can progress, that you don't have to sit back and settle. And so I gambled. I took a couple of years out, stacked my money to as much as I could. Bank accounts, investments, I stacked it as much as I could. And then once I got to that point, I didn't sit back and say, I'm using this money for my future in the United States. I said, I got enough money. I'm up out of here. I'm up out of here. I'm not going to be here in the States any longer. Even though I was making good money, even though I was living in Florida, living that salt life. Shout out to anybody that's from Florida know what I'm talking about, that salt life, the salt water. And many of you may be in a situation in which I was in. You know, you're feeling like, okay, economically, I'm good. My kids are doing great. You know, they're getting older. But I don't have peace here in this country. And so you start to realize, okay, maybe I should put myself in a position, in a location to where in a few years, I get my money in position to where I'm at peace. That's what you want to do. And so I began as a part-time, it was always like a part-time journey to get to Colombia. Let me pull this up for you guys. Present this. Screen share right here. This was me. This was me at $87,000 a year in Tampa. The real me. That photo solidifies how I was feeling back in the States. At $87,000 a year. Many guys will never see that amount. Many women will never see that amount in a lifetime. I had a really good career, really good staff. I had all the little lady friends that you could imagine. I could go to the beach every weekend. I could go to the beach. I'm driving my convertible, and I got my Ford F-150 Harley Davidson edition. I should have been happy. Right? You living in Florida? No snow plows, no salt trucks. You're doing good. You smashing chicks in Miami, you smashing chicks in Orlando, you smashing chicks in Bradenton, Riverview, Ruskin, Chapel Hills, Carrollwood. I'm smashing all these South American chicks all throughout Orlando, Kissimmee area, all the way back to Tampa. You would think that I should be happy, right? No. And some of you guys feel the same way. You've been putting in 10, 20 years into a career that you're like, or into a country that you feel like that's not the country that I need to be in. That's not the career that I want to be in. And you start to realize it's time for me to make some moves. So this is why I share this with you guys, to let you guys see that I know what it's like. I know the thoughts that you're having. And I'm here to tell you that you can accomplish those goals. That you can accomplish those goals. Let me see if I can find some other photos. I already showed you guys this photo. This was me when I was 25 years old in the feds. For all you dudes that have never seen my photo when I was in the feds for 10 years. I think about maybe 24 when I took this photo. This was in Jessup, Georgia, federal penitentiary. One of 9 other penitentiaries that I went to, because I purposely was transferring from place to place to break my time up. Yeah. Shout out to Hannibal. Hannibal says this. He said, Andre O'Shea, I got an interview coming up with O'Shea in a couple weeks, guys. So he'll be on this show. So shout out to O'Shea. O'Shea dropped a video today named Passport Bro Caught His Dominican Wife Doing This on Camera. Check it out. Sounds like one of your stories. I will check it out, and I'll probably reach out to O'Shea with a good laugh. He said, I had to check myself this weekend, Andrea. Andre, got to be real with you. I read this one from Dave. He said, first to achieve anything. Yes, you got to be real with yourself. Correct. Shout out to you guys being here. And shout out to Hannibal being in the building. He said, you mean to tell me that you was making $87,000 a year and you wasn't happy? I'm going to tell you something, brother. Don't you? I've heard the rich say this. If it was only money that kept you happy, you wouldn't have so many rich people on drugs, OD'd, alcoholics, and self-deleting. And they're rich. You would have so many rich alcoholics. And I'm not talking about famous people. I'm talking about everyday people that have made it in life. There are so many, think about it. There are so many women that are talking about that we are Miss AKA this and we are Miss Ski-Wee that. And I make 100, I make six figures. But why is it that if they are Miss AKA and that they own their own businesses or they're moving up in corporate America, they're making six figures and they're in the medical field making six figures? Why is it that alcoholism and being on antidepressant drugs have risen among professional modern women, even though they got the money, the house, the position, the degrees, and yet they are the fastest growing group of alcoholics and the fastest growing group on antidepressants. Don't ever think, and take it from me, that money makes you happy. Money solves problems. That doesn't mean money makes you happy. It solves problems. It's not making you happy. When the Beatles says money cannot buy you love, they are 100% correct. Don't you ever think that having money will make you happy, brother. And once you get to that level, you'll realize right now I make 3 times that much. If I didn't make that 3 times as much, if I made 2 times less, my first year here in Colombia, you know how much I made? $27,000 the first 2 years here in Colombia. I gave up an $87,000 job to live in a country and have peace. In the beginning, when I first got here, I had my money that I stacked. So I had a nice little nest egg. But as far as my online job, long before YouTube and all that, regular online job, I was only making $27,000 a year. I gambled on me. I had a choice. Stay there, make somebody else richer, and wait for Mr. Gilmore to give me more porridge, known as a raise. Or I could put myself in a position to where I control my raise now. If I want to make more money, that's my control. That's my chance. That's my opportunity. Dre, you need money for this? Guess what? Make more money. I gambled on myself. And a lot of other guys that I met down here, they gambled on themselves. And they're doing great. So yeah, I kid you not, brother. And some of you guys, the reason why I say that, because when I first came down to Colombia, $27,000 had the buying power of $60,000, $70,000. I'm going to say that again. My $27,000 when I first came down here, 2017, 2018, it had the buying power of 60. To where some of you guys are going to stay in the States waiting. I'll leave the United States once I'm making 72. While you're waiting around the United States to make 72, I'd rather leave the United States with 35. If I could make 35,000 online, I kid you not, even in this economy, if I could start off from scratch No Andrea, no Andre. If I can make 35,000 online, I know that 35,000 will have the buying power of almost 90,000 in Colombia, in Thailand, in other countries. I am out the door. You keep your 72,000. You wait those 4 or 5 years for somebody to give you a promotion or for your business to take off in the States. You do that. While you are doing that, the one thing that you can never get back is time. Time. I've literally built 27,000 up to $500,000. I'll take that. I'll take that. While in the same span, some of you could have left and did the same thing because you were called to go to another country 5, 6 years ago, just like I was. But you were making good money like I was. But the only difference between you and I had the balls to go for it. You couldn't have walked away from that 87 that you was making. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Right now, some of you dudes still make your 87, you're making your 89, you're making 90 right now, maybe even 100,000 right now, 6 years later. I'm happy for you. But what I have is, I have that 10x at the same time. I mean, the 27,000, 10x, if not 15x, at the same time, a new wife, new country. I'm physically healthier than I've ever been in my life, ever. I've got new friends. I've got you guys. All I have, I've traveled the world because I believe that $27,000 was going to take me somewhere. Or I could have stayed in the States in fear and still made that 87,000. And I still would have been looking like this young man right here. I still could have been looking like this young man right here. I've taken that young man from federal prison around the world. What have you done for the 25-year-old you? Ask yourself that. What have you done for the 25-year-old you if you are 34 right now? If you are 44 right now? 61 right now? What have you done with your life that the 25-year-old you would say thank you? Had kids? That's great. You see where I'm going with this? Don't just lean on the money. That's what he's trying to say. If you're not happy, take that money and use it as a bruh. That 87,000, bruh. I wasn't going to no more clubs. I wasn't partying no more. Forget the new LeBrons that's coming out. Forget the new Kobe's that was coming out. I mean, I wasn't spending no money. Dude, I stopped buying cigars, the brandy nights, all that was done. Taking chicks out on that date money, all that was part of the kitty to get me outside the United States. I had a choice. Keep on splurging and blowing money in the States, Andre, or take that money that you would normally splurge in the States and stack it along with your 401k, along with your other investments, Andre. Stack it. The only time you're going to party, Andre, is when you're in Colombia because you plan on living there. If you are not in Colombia, ain't gonna be no cigar smoked, Andre. Ain't gonna be no brandy in hand, Andre. I gave up everything but my gym membership. And I gained a whole new life. And if I had the choice to do it all over again, dang it, I would do it all over again from scratch. I sold my Ford F-150. The Harley Davidson edition, and I got myself a nice convertible. Got me a mint condition 2006 Saab. I did. Let me show you my vehicle. Paid cash for it, and the rest of the money from selling my F-150 went to my kitty. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. Here we go. There we go for you guys right there. I sold my Ford F-150 and I paid $3,000 for a mint condition Saab. That's what I got. Car ran great all the way to the day that I left. That's what I did. Why am I spending $400 a month on insurance for a Ford F-150, Andre? Why are you paying notes on a Ford F-150, Andre? You're moving to Colombia, Andre. Why are you still paying on that? Some of you guys don't want to do, you ain't trying to move. Some of you dudes, man, your talk game is, man. Some of you brothers try to talk to me like you talk to your bitches. See, your bitch, she'll believe anything that you say, won't she? But you know I'm your brother. I don't believe half of the shit you say. So when you sit back and say, Andre, I'm trying to move, and I watch the actions that you're taking, some of you dudes come down here and y'all leave, and you say, man, I network with this brother. I got this connection right here. I can see this dude moving down here. Andre, I saw a real estate broker about giving me an apartment. I reached out to the people. I went to the dentist office. I could see you dudes moving down here. Oh yeah, in Brazil, Andre, I got a connection between so-and-so and so-and-so. I could see you dudes moving to Brazil. But all you dudes that ain't willing to make the true sacrifice, y'all ain't going no damn way. Y'all gonna keep visiting places. You're gonna be a vacationer for the rest of your damn life. Just going everywhere on vacation. And ain't nothing wrong with it. But don't pretend like you're gonna be moving somewhere where you know deep down in your heart you ain't nothing but a vacationer. And nothing wrong with being a vacationer. Like I said, just stop pretending like you moving somewhere. Don't pretend like you moving somewhere when you ain't. You ain't willing to do the steps that it takes. You ain't willing to tell your girl, dude, some of y'all brothers, y'all ready? Forget about selling of cars and selling my house and all that. Do you know how many, the hurt that I had to deal with when I had to tell certain women I was moving to Colombia and I wasn't going to be with them? Do you know the level of tears that flowed down my chest of women that fell into my chest like they were fainting and shed tears and cried like I told you guys before, I had this one chick, she was black and Irish, beautiful body, like crazy, freaky as can be. She's an executive for Frontier Communications. And I mean, one of the top, like her next promotion is one of the CEOs. I mean, not the CEO, but one of the top positions. She was one of the ones that was flying me out. And I had to tell her face to face, we're not getting married. I'm moving to Colombia. I didn't know Andrea. I didn't know anything. I didn't know about Cali. All I was still thinking about was Medellin. But I had to be honest with this woman and tell her that I'm moving to another country. Some of you dudes ain't got the balls to do that sacrifice. You ain't got the balls to stare a woman in her eyes and tell her the truth and she gonna be crying like a baby. You ain't got the balls to do that. You ain't got the balls to let a woman who doesn't even cry go out there and find somebody that's going to be the love of her life. Some of you dudes are so selfish that you will keep that woman for 5 more years, knowing on year 6, you're going to tell her, I don't F with you anyway like that. I'm moving to Colombia. When you could have told her 5 years ago. Some of y'all ain't got the ball to let her suck somebody else's neck and be happy sucking another man's neck and living her life. And the young lady who I informed you guys of with that story that cried over me, her and her husband are happily married right now. Really great couple. What if I stayed in the States What if I had stayed in the States? She wouldn't have met her husband and I wouldn't have met Andrea. If I wouldn't have let that moment in time happen to where she cried on my chest because I didn't lie to her and I told her the truth, she wouldn't have never met her husband after those tears dried up, and I wouldn't have never met Andrea. And some of you brothers ain't got the balls to do that. What I'm saying is, in order for some of us to move on, it's going to take balls. Some of y'all got sons and daughters that's 18, 19, 20, 26, 27. They just can't get on track with life. They always got to come to you for some money. They always got to come to you for some unnecessary advice that they should have learned when they were 15, but they still ain't picking up on it. Some of y'all gonna have to say, son, you are 27 years old. I've given you money. I've given you encouragement, and I've given you a great example as a dad. I'm moving. I cannot continue to raise you as if you are 7 and you are 27, son. It's time for you to walk into your manhood. I can't rescue you just like my mama and my daddy didn't rescue me from my manhood. Son, I can't rescue you from your manhood. It's time for you to step up. I'm leaving in a year. But some of y'all ain't got the balls to do that because you so much in the custom, into the habit, and in the tradition of rescuing your son and rescuing your daughter. Every time they put themselves in a problematic situation, Daddy, I need some money. I need to get my boyfriend out of jail. Daddy, I need some money. I need to pay my phone bill. You looking at your daughter, she's 31 and you still paying her phone bill. Your daughter is 31. You put her through college, or you help her start her first 2 or 3 businesses that she didn't take serious. Or you believe that she could be successful in going into the military, but she lied and she didn't finish off what she needs to do to get enlisted, or not enlisted, but to join. And you still paying her house notes. She got 2 kids now by 2 baby daddies. Come on, let's be real. Your daughter got 2 kids by 2 baby daddies. She's 31 years old, and you still paying a car note. And you wonder why she ain't walked into her womanhood yet. Why? She got daddies as a parachute. Daddy, you are a parachute. And the reason why you aren't moving to Colombia, because you're so busy being everybody else's parachute and rescuing everybody else and being Captain Save 'em all, that the one person that you are never thinking about saving, the one person you never think about giving peace to and appreciation to is you. Your time is running out just like theirs is. I don't know what makes you guys think that you got an extra life hidden somewhere and God gonna be like, don't worry about it, son. I know you gave most of your life to your kids and to your ex-wife. I'm gonna go hook you up with another 30 more years. It don't work like that. Once you're done, you're done. It's over. It's a wrap. You did what you were supposed to do as a father. There's no way in hell you're supposed to still be paying your kids' bills and they in their 30s. Hell no. Hell no. You had to struggle to get the money that you give them. You had to work through life to put yourself in an economic position to where you could help others. Why don't you let them go through the struggle to put themselves in an economic position of life to where they can help others? Because you are Captain Save 'em all. You like to save hoes and you like to save everybody in the family too. And that's what you do. And when you come to Colombia, you look for a baby mama so you can save their kids too. That's all you know how to do, is save everybody but your damn self. Everybody can get the blessings of you but you. Everybody can appreciate your money but you. Everybody can appreciate your peace but you. Everybody can enjoy life and have a good relationships but your ass. Your Andrea is waiting for you in Brazil. Your Andrea is waiting for you in Ghana. Your Andrea is waiting for you in South Africa, in Germany, in Portugal, in Spain, in Southeast Asia. Your Andrea is already waiting for you. She's like this. And what are you doing? You making sure everybody else got a good life but your ass. And then as soon as God say, you know what, Andrea in Japan, Yeah, it don't look like he coming. So I'm gonna send you somebody else to marry you that does want to follow my blueprint for their life. And the Andrea in Japan that you were supposed to be in a relationship with is married and moved on. The Andrea in Brazil that you were supposed to be with has been in a relationship for 3 years by the time you finally get your ass to Brazil. And you'll never meet her. You know why? Because you were supposed to be in Brazil 3 years ago. But since you didn't do what you were supposed to do, and you so busy rescuing every damn body, go ahead. Stay where you are. It's cool. But as for the rest of us down here, that's living the lives that we wouldn't have never gotten if we didn't make the sacrifices that needed to be made. The sacrifices that needed to be made. Let me show you guys something. That's my Ford F-150 when I first bought it. The first day when I got ready to pull it off the lot. This is the F-150 in front of my house in Riverview, Florida. Everybody knows Riverview is a suburb of Tampa. Y'all see my little Oakland Raider emblem on the back, just to verify that that's Andre's truck. Y'all see on the back of the window that Oakland Raider. One of the things that made me so happy, y'all see that Harley Davidson edition right here, as well as that Harley Davidson logo right here. It hurt my heart to get rid of my truck. Sacrifices need to be made. Sell my house. Sacrifices needed to be made. So when you guys see Andre, the YouTuber, I don't care nothing about that. I would rather you guys realize and acknowledge me as the brother that was willing to make the sacrifices to get the life that he's acquiring. He did what needed to be done. He made the sacrifice. He's taken the steps and he's continued to take the steps. Shout out to you, Timothy. I knew you were a Raider fan. Shout out to you, brother. We're looking good this year. That defense, woo-hoo-hoo. We're looking good. Shout out to all you Raider fans out there. Sacrifices needed to be made, gentlemen. Will the Thrill says, peace is what I want. The money I'm walking away from in the United States, they would say that you crazy. I'm still being offered twice that what I'm making now to go to DC. Nope, can't do it. Depression is real. No matter how much money you're making. Shout out to my man Calvin being in the building. Appreciate you, Mr. Dickerson, being here. Mr. Dickerson says, Dre, question. Why is it that there is so much hate on the passport bros, especially the black ones, when other men of other races don't get as much shade and hate on them? Shout out to Detroit.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
Don't play with them Detroit boys. That's a great question. The reason why, let's put the question this way as well. When has it ever been that men of color, whether it be Asian guys, Middle Eastern guys, black guys, Latin guys, when have people ever in the United States celebrated us being successful? We all were around for the beginning of hip hop from the late 70s, early 80s. Remember the crucifixions, that the destruction, the destructive behavior that people were saying about hip hop? If you were young, if you're under 35, you weren't around for the beginning of hip hop. Remember, hip hop is 50 years old. You weren't around for when dudes had to go to court, federal court, such as NWA, such as Luke Skywalker and the 2 Live Crew had to go to federal court for the right for hip hop artists to say what they say, all the picket signs that are out there. When has there ever been a major moment where black men or men of color were progressing and we didn't get the hate? Black Wall Street, anyone? Black Wall Street, calling Black Wall Street. Whether it was Black Wall Street, whether it was hip hop, whether it was in the 60s when we had our own black businesses, black hotels, black stores, black grocery stores, black gas stations, black automobile repair shops, we were getting hated back then. Let's go all the way back to the time period where it was sharecropping, and they would sharecrop after slavery, and then when a person died, they would leave us with a chunk of the land. And then you had Klansmen coming out there hating on you because you got good crops and they don't, so they burn your crops. When has there ever been a time period where black men or Latin men or Asian men or Middle Eastern men or Native American men have progressed in public, and the public in one way or another didn't turn on us? That's why King Sigma, who created the term passport bro, the hashtag passport bro, and the original definition passport bro, asked this question when he was asked, can white guys be passport bros? He said, let me ask you this question. Why do white guys need to be passport bros? What country in which white guys don't get worshiped? Why, if passport bros didn't exist, white dudes were still getting on planes, still going to Thailand, still taking their butt to Colombia, still taking their butt to Brazil. You ain't need no passport bro moniker. You didn't need the network of passport bro. You didn't need the encouragement that comes along with being involved with the passport bro movement. It just was something that was going positive among people of color, and you had to jump your white butt on it like you always do, like you did with hip hop, like you did with us when it came to us being the best actors or actresses, like you did with us when it came to other areas, when it comes to our foods, when it comes to our culture, when it comes to how we dress. You always want to jump on the ass end of everything, and you're trying to do that with the passport bro movement. And when I see white passport bros, now, I'm not saying you can't have white passport bros, but we're asking, what the hell for? What do you need? I need one white boy to answer that question. Why the hell? And this is not race. This is not about racism. This is about fact. I need my white brothers in the audience to answer this. Why do y'all even need to be passport bros? You don't need the network. You do not need the network of brothers communicating with each other from around the world. You don't need us. You've been doing it all along, right? Y'all got movies out there. Young teenage kids go to Europe to discover themselves. Little Timmy goes to his first brothel. Y'all got movies. Mom, I'm not going straight to college. I'm going to Europe to discover myself. And y'all white mamas and daddies give y'all a passport and a pocket full of money, and y'all go with y'all friends in the movie all throughout Europe with y'all little backpacks and a motorcycle. Y'all been doing that for years. What the hell y'all need passport bros for? That's what I've been trying to find out. Ain't not one white boy ever been able to answer that question. Why the do y'all even need the passport bro movement anyway? It's just because y'all, by habit, used to stealing some shit. Just like y'all did with rock and roll, just like y'all did with rock music and everything else. It's just by osmosis, y'all white tails steal some shit. Let's be real. Y'all can't just be happy for somebody else having something else. The bros part told you right out the gate that it was black. And so now I see these white dudes all over Instagram and they all on the news. We're the passport bro. Like they came up with some shit. Like they really came up with something first. They got all these passport bro courses and how you can meet the women in Thailand and how you can come out the Philippines and be a passport bro. They got passport bro magazines and books and all that bullshit out. Why? Because all y'all do is steal shit. Brothers and others can't have shit without y'all not being happy for us and stealing it. It's one of the easiest ways to steal it if our women are attacking us too. So now we got to worry about the plantation bros attacking us, our own women in the States attacking us, and then here y'all come from the back stealing from us. Instead of just joining us, you're stealing from us. I'm yet to see some of these white boys on YouTube and Instagram give King Sigma, give a passport bro Aaron of the passport bro app any credit. None of them. They barely even talk about Austin Holloman. But they will passport bro all day long as if they created some shit. Y'all worse than Thomas Edison walking trying to fool everybody like he invented the light bulb when all the electrical parts on the inside that makes the light bulb work was created by a brother. But y'all want to run around talking about teaching us Thomas Edison was the one that invented the light bulb. He ain't invent shit. So yeah, that's a good question. But the question that I pose, when have we as people of color ever did anything without pushback? We did the civil rights movement. Guess who criticized us most during the civil rights movement? I have studied the civil rights movement in depth. It's like I was going through this phase of just studying the history of the civil rights movement. For about 4 years, I was studying in detail, major detail. The number one antagonist against, is it protagonist or against the civil rights movement were black people. It would have made you when you guys do your homework how small many of those marches were. Except for the March on Washington. A lot of those marches were like 100 people, 200 people. It wasn't like a whole city was out. No. The Montgomery bus boycotts, the Freedom Riders that rode the Greyhound buses from city to city. It wasn't like a bunch of black people everywhere. No, it was just maybe about 50, 60 black kids and white kids riding Greyhound buses together from city to city, taking them ass whoopings. While everybody else in the black community was calling them crazy. They was calling Malcolm X crazy. They were calling Martin Luther King crazy. They were calling Stokely Carmichael crazy. They were calling the Black Panthers crazy. It's always been our people. The question that you're presenting, Calvin, has been a question everybody's been wondering for years regarding any movement that we've had as a people. Why is it that our own people come against us, and no matter what we do, whatever endeavor that we try to come up with? You know how many, dude, I remember when the DJ came out, the scratching DJ. Do you know how many regular disco DJs hated Grandmaster Flash and all those other DJs that created the mixes and cuts? They didn't like them dudes. They were used to taking a record on, putting it on there, dancing with the audience, keeping the audience hyped, bringing the next song in and keeping them hyped. Kind of like the techno movement does right now. But then when it start coming in with the scratching and the mixing and all that, man, them dudes was hot. And it was brothers mad at brothers for inventing a new way of doing music. Dang shame. Shout out to my man Travis in the building. Travis says this. He say, greatly appreciate the information of genuine women around the world waiting for us to have our solid foundation set for the life ahead. That's true, man. And I'm gonna tell you the other reason why I left, Travis. Y'all ready? I was standing in somebody else's blessing. Remember, I just showed you guys me sitting in that cubicle. As long as I was still sitting in that cubicle, the next person who was supposed to be blessed with that particular job couldn't get blessed, could they? Why? Because I was still there with that job. There's somebody that's sitting in another country waiting to be a blessing in your life, and there's somebody else in your home country waiting for you to move the hell out the way so they can be blessed in the position in which you're in right now. Some of you dudes are in somebody else's way, and they won't get their blessing until you move the hell out the way. Until you move out of your cubicle, until you move and you finally retire from your position, until you move and you go to get the classes with Theo Woff and become an IT guy, or with my man International Passport and become an IT guy and move into a new career, the person that's technically supposed to be sitting in your chair in 2024 won't sit there. Why? They got to wait till 2026. Why? Because you keep on stalling and bullshitting around. So now you finally leave and do all the things that you're supposed to do in 2026. But God actually had you prepared to leave and live the life that you're living in 2023. And that person would have been blessed with your job in 2024. You got this woman and these people waiting for you in this new country, and you got this other person waiting for you to back here to move the hell out the way. Yeah. He said, oh shit. He said we went to barbershop talk. Yeah, for real. To the fifth power. Yeah, man. Yeah, there's some things that, we didn't get that, our civil rights movement, we didn't support it like we could have. And when it comes to the Passport Bro movement, man, I will shout it at the mountaintops in front of any white brothers. Y'all trying to sit up here and steal something that, once again, that y'all didn't start. I mean, y'all all on YouTube, all on TikTok, just showing y'all little videos. Hi, this is how you be a passport. How the you know how to be a passport, bro? When you don't need it. You ready, white brothers? Don't be offended. A white boy telling us how to be a passport, bro, is nothing but a white boy telling us how to be a white boy. You ain't catch that, did you, white boy? You have so many benefits when you land in a country just because of your complexion. All of this running around trying to pretend like, yes, we're in Bali. You were always in Bali. Yes, now I went to Cartagena and the lady showed me. They was going to always show you around in Cartagena. They've been showing you around for years. A white guy saying you're a passport, bro, is nothing but a white guy saying you're a white guy. All the passport bro benefits you were already getting anyway. So don't act like you left the United States because of the economy. You left the United States for peace. You were going through economic struggles and you were being harassed by the police. Women were just breaking your heart in the United States. You couldn't find real love. Bullshit. As long as you was a white boy in the United States, you had a chance. You know it and I know it. If that one white woman wasn't the right one, no problem. Because you, as a white dude, had a chance with a black woman, a Latin woman, an Asian woman, and more white women just because you're a white dude. According to statistics. According to statistics, when they surveyed dating apps, you white brothers were number one among all races. Black women were choosing you, white women were choosing you, Latin women were choosing you, Asian women were choosing you. So when you white boys sit up there and try to act like we were going through so much trouble, we couldn't find love in the States. Bull, yeah, who y'all talking to? All you had to do was be a white boy and show up to the party. So whenever you got a white brother trying to tell you about being a passport bro, is nothing but a white boy telling you how to be a white boy. Let's be real with it. That's all that is. All these white boy YouTubers, and y'all can clip this, white boys. All you white boy YouTubers, and I might just clip this and put this into YouTube Shorts myself. All you white boy YouTubers that's running around talking about y'all passport bros, y'all ain't nothing but white brothers. And ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna say that again. It ain't you didn't choose to be born in the era in which you were born, in which your whiteness gave you benefits, but it does give you benefits. So all this trying to act like you left a struggle and now you live in a better life, bullshit. You was gonna get that anyway, white boy. Remember, before the passport bro movement, I'll give you a perfect example. Before the passport bro movement, it was the expats movement. Remember when it was all white people, white males, white females, maybe a couple brothers sprinkled off in there, but it was just 99% white people moving around the world and leaving the United States and working online, wasn't it? The expats movement since 2011, like 2009 when it first started, didn't it? It was no different than the passport bro movement. It's just brothers doing it. So don't try to tell me, white brothers and white sisters, that y'all can't do it without calling yourselves passport bros. Y'all just jumping on a bandwagon of something that's new and fresh, like you've been doing throughout American history. Y'all always jumped on somebody's bandwagon. You ain't never created nothing on your own the way everybody else could jump on the bandwagon. Always. You always got to jump on everybody else's bandwagon instead of being happy for them. We're happy for you, brothers. We're expats and we support the passport bros. No, y'all didn't do that. Y'all stop being expats, calling yourself expats, and then start calling yourself passport bros. When at the end of the day, you ain't nothing but a bunch of white boys and white girls that are taking advantage of your whiteness around the world. You don't need to be passport bros. That's what I'm saying. I'm not coming at you because of race. I'm not coming at you because of color, because I got some cool white folks that's always been cool with. My first true best friend, David, white dude. I've always been cool. My other next best friend, Robert. I always had a cool white boy in my arsenal, on my team. So at the end of the day, when I come at you, I'm just telling you the truth. White boys, y'all need to stop calling yourself passport bros, because at the end of the day, you ain't nothing but white boys. When the passport bro movement ends, you still gonna be doing white boy stuff that's under the moniker of passport bros, or showcasing everything that you said when passport bros was popular. Once it fades away, you'll still be doing white boy stuff. The same thing that you doing. Stop lying to us and stop lying to yourself. Now y'all can take this and clip it. That's serious, man. I'm not hating on my white brothers at all, but come on, at the end of the day, man, y'all got to stop it. Let's go back to the video. Oh, that's not the video.
It's just there to make money and to feed your family and put a roof over their head. I get it. It's commendable and admirable, but man, it sure is a great way to ruin your life in the long term. So use those nights and weekends while everyone else is watching football and getting stupid watching television or doing dumb shit at nights. You ought to be the one doing the work on your life's purpose to be able to go, man, I love working for this organization. Think about that. And if you're not doing that, you're just that rat on a hamster wheel. And how long are you going to do that before your fire is completely extinguished, right? Number 4 of 7 things that men do to ruin their lives. They complain. Listen, I'm not saying that you should internalize everything, but I am saying if you're the dude that complains and adopts this victim mindset, but you don't do anything about it, then you deserve the suffering that you're experiencing. You cannot complain about things. Complaining about things, all it does is it's like throwing oxygen on fire, right? So to be unhappy about something is very reasonable. To complain about something is reasonable. To complain and be unhappy and not do anything about it is stupid. It is being a victim. And I know you, my friend, are not a victim.
That's one thing that I'll never forget when Obsidian said this. He said, if I could open up a nightclub, he said, I will only serve 2 things. a black nightclub. He said, in any black community, I've seen it. Ali said, I would serve drinks and I would allow people to complain. He said, because black people don't know, if we don't know how to do nothing, we know how to complain and don't do nothing about it. Like he just said, it's one thing to have something to complain about, but if you ain't doing nothing about it, you can complain about the food in the United States, and you complain about the women and how now you got another baby mama and she out of shape, she fat, and you can complain about the economy or Trump. You can complain about Biden, Uncle, what they call him, Sleepy Joe, or y'all call Trump the Cheeto president. Doesn't matter. You ain't going nowhere. You can complain about your boss, your coworkers. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't trying to, when you off work, like he just said, instead of watching football games, trying to put together a game plan to where in a couple years you out of that office or out of that warehouse or off of driving that truck. You ain't doing it. You ain't going no damn where. You complaining. You are more comfortable, black folks, being the victim of complaints than doing something about it. Well, you don't understand, Andre, the white man. No, you can't use that. There was a time and a place where we could use the white man. But guess what? If you start an online business, who know your color? Who knows your color if you start an online business and you're doing IT for the most part? Who knows your color? Maybe the one that hired you, but none of the customer base knows and cares about your color. I've hired plenty of people on Fiverr.com. I ain't never knew what color they were. Never. Not one. I knew what country they probably were from. I could guess, but I never knew what color they were. I know if they were rich or poor. If they borrowed a computer to do the work that they need to do from me, or they own several computers. I didn't know none of that stuff. What's my point? You can't blame race on everything when it comes to you progressing in life. I can't be nothing in life, Andre. Why? I'm black. What? I'm black. All these dudes that I hang out with, once I leave this live stream, they black and white dudes. If black dudes and white dudes here in Colombia can make it down here and live good lives, what makes you think that you can't do it? What makes your blackness so special that your blackness can't make it? My blackness just so happen to be so special that it can? No. You live in an era to where you can start an online e-commerce business. You can do this, you can do that. Online AI opportunities that are out there. Don't nobody give up about your color. So when you sit back and you try to use that as your excuse, that might work on your 9 to 5, but you're trying to get out of your 9 to 5 anyway in a year or two. Stop using your color or that victim mentality, or like he's saying, complaints as your excuse for not accomplishing your goal. Instead of just admit to yourself that you are either scared, that you're distracted, or that you just lazy than a motherfucker. I'd rather you sit back and tell the truth and say, Andre, I'm just a lazy motherfucker. I ain't going nowhere, Andre. I'll visit Colombia a couple times in my lifetime, but I ain't built for actually sacrificing and going after goals. I'm not a goal getter. I'd rather you just tell the truth that you don't go after goals. Andre, listen, this is why I weigh 280, because I don't go after goals. Andre, listen, I'm used to waking up. The reason why I work second shift, so I can wake up at 11 o'clock. I ain't got to get up early. Andre, I'm just one lazy motherfucker, okay? I barely want to call a coochie to come over to the house. At least long get up and go after some goals. I'd rather play my video games and every once in a while call a coochie to come over to the house, Dre. I'm just one lazy motherfucker. I would rather you just be honest about that than to sit back and complain as if complaining can do something about it and make a change in your life. And no one has ever accomplished anything by complaining. Back to the video.
And I can tell you this right now, people around you aren't going to tell you, but if you're like, man, why do people not want to hang out with me? Why do people kind of distance themselves from me? If you're that low tone, low energy, complainer, victim mindset dude that's just kind of every time people go, hey man, how's it going? You're like, oh, you know, hanging in there. You're the hanging in there guy. Hey, how's it going, bro? Hanging in. Think about that little saying. Everybody adopts that fucking saying, but hanging in there, I just picture someone off a cliff, white knuckling, holding on, just hanging in there, man. I'm just hanging. Life is not meant to be hung in there. Life is meant to be experienced. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Life is meant to be challenged. Life is meant to have suffering and adversity, but all of life should not be suffering and adversity. There is joy and fulfillment and significance in life, and if you don't have it, if you're just hanging in there, what the fuck are you doing, man? You're slowly putting out your fire. And by complaining to everyone, and I'm hanging in there, man, you know, thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's the weekend. Don't be like that, man. Don't be that person, because soon you end up being the Eeyore. You know, like Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, that little depressed, sad, pathetic donkey. Hey, Eeyore, what's going on? Oh, I don't know. You know, just getting by. Who the fuck wants to hang out with that man? Not me. Not you. So fucking flip the switch and do something about it. Thing number 5 that men do to ruin their lives, and it is not sticking with the shit that you say you're going to do, not finishing what you start. When a man does not stick to the things that he says he's going to do, like you got a business idea and then you launch it, and before you start making money and it starts getting traction, you just let it go, and you know, idea fairy comes and you go on to the next thing. That's fucking stupid, bro. You're creating a pattern and a habit. Each time you start something and you don't finish it, one, you're losing credibility with yourself. You're losing your own reputation. You lose reputation with yourself and others. People go, wow, that guy has a failure to launch every time. He starts something, he tells everyone he's got a new idea, he's about to make this change, he's about to lose weight, he's about to improve his marriage, he's about to stop drinking, he's about to start making money, he's about to impact the world, and then you stop. You stop before the thing happens. Here's a rule that I have. When I start something, I finish it. Now, if people that I trust and I love and I admire, my advisors, are like, hey, Bedros, that's a stupid idea, right? Tap dance shoes for pigeons was a stupid idea, Bedros. How did you think of that? And why did you create that? That will never work. And it comes from people that I love, respect, and take their advice. Yeah, I'll stop that for sure. But if something has the ability to be successful, but I just stop it and I don't stick with it because it's hard, because it's difficult, because the going got tough, all of life comes with its sets of adversities and setbacks and speed bumps. That is how life tests you to see if you are worthy of happiness, of success, of financial freedom, of abundance, of love. Could you imagine if like the very first chick you met was like a 10 across the board on everything? Hot, fit, beautiful, like a lady in the streets, a freak in the bed. No, that ain't gonna happen, bro. That ain't gonna happen. You have to go and interview and date enough women until you find the one that you jive and connect with because they align with your core values, right? And so understand that it's the same thing here. If you're willing to do that in your relational life, why not do that in your rest of the part of your life? Like why have a short attention span where you start something and you don't finish, and soon you create this pattern and people get to know you as the person that starts and never finishes, like the false start guy. I never want to be the false start guy. I have a rule for myself. When I start something, I finish it unless an advisor or two who I trust, love, and respect tells me it's a bad idea.
Before he goes any further into that, he's correct. One of the problems that I had from like 2011 to maybe 2000, I would say maybe 16. I was a squirrel farmer. A lot of you guys are squirrel farmers too. You have one project, you swear that's the one that you're gonna do. Then you start another project, then you start another business. You got one girl that you really like, you got another relationship, but then you got another girl that you like. Oh, I'm going to write this book. Let me finish off reading this book. Then all of a sudden you're squirrel farming. You're trying to herd squirrels. It's hard enough for a dog to chase down a squirrel. Here you go trying to squirrel farm. In other words, you're chasing the pretty things. Oh, that star looks pretty. Oh, let me do that. Everybody wants to come to you with a new business deal, and you going for it. I got news for you guys that are crypto investors. Many of you who are serious about crypto already know that every crypto is not to be invested in. A lot of crypto investors will tell you that. Listen, I don't invest everything that says it's a coin. Crypto investors pick and choose. Not me, not Andre from 2011 to 2016. Man, I'd have picked everything. I was squirrel farming. Squirrel herder. That's what I was, a professional squirrel herder, trying to catch as many squirrels as I could to sit back and get my business. I was busy at doing nothing. Jack of all trades, master of none, even though it's always better than the master of one. Jack of all trades, master of none is always better than the master of one. I was squirrel farming, and it didn't get me any place. It didn't do. About 2016, I'm still sitting in my cubicle. All those books I was going to write, all those businesses I was going to do, the t-shirt brands, My Uncle Jeffrey can tell you all about it. Ghostface, he was right there as I was up all night creating these businesses, but I never pushed them over the finish line. Until I decided to sell my squirrel farm and stop chasing squirrels and doing one thing or maybe two things at a time. Start it, finish it. 2024 is dedicated to finishing off some of the things that I get a chance to finish in 2023. The whole thing, no more creating a new this. I'm gonna do this new, that. The newest thing that we've gotten this year is this apartment. That's it. I am not doing anything else new for 2024. It's all dedicated to finishing what I started. And some of you guys are professional squirrel herders like me, and you wonder why your life is not going in the direction that it needs to go. You're putting up all this energy, but ain't nothing getting done. Why? You're a squirrel farmer. Oh, you're herding squirrels. You got your cowboy hat like I had. You out there squirrel farming. You got a rope. I'm a herd all of you squirrels. Straw in your mouth hanging out. I'm the best squirrel herder there is. I can do everything and accomplish nothing at the same time. That's what a squirrel farmer does. We do all of it, but then we don't accomplish nothing at the same time. Ain't no money being made when you're a squirrel farmer, when you're herding squirrels. I'm writing this book. No, I'm gonna finish writing that book. Oh, I got another good book on my mind. You know what? I'm gonna read this book, but you know what? I should have started that book. Let me go ahead and start this book over here. I'm gonna start Theo's class. Yeah, I'm gonna start Theo's class. But you know what? Let me start Theo's class and IP's class. Oh, but you know what? I can also start Theo class, IP class, and get me a certification to be a school teacher because I saw the brother Danny in China talking about becoming a school teacher in China. So I could you squirrel farming, bruh. Sit your happy tail down in Theo's class, get it done. If you want to move over to other ventures, do that after. Stop squirrel farming. A lot of times, us people, especially us people of color, it's not the white man that's holding you back. It's the fact that many of us males and females don't finish what we started. And I keep trying to let you guys know, I tell this story all the time. When I first got of being incarcerated, no, this is prior to I was younger. I used to work in the dietary department in the nursing home. That means that I was a young kid that I worked in the kitchen, in other words. But my job was to put all the food on the carts and push the cart of food to each floor of the nursing home and each area of the nursing home. The nurses would make sure that they were, in the home health aides and all that. They would make sure that the people ate. And then I would come back and collect all the empty trays, put them in a cart, and take the carts of food back down, or empty food trays back downstairs. So I had access to the whole nursing home department. And I noticed this, and I mean this. And you guys think I just said to say it. in a nursing home, from talking to all the older people in there, there were 2 people that lived in a nursing home. Old people and regret. And it was more regret walking around the halls of that nursing home than old people. It was more regret walking around that halls of that nursing home than staff. People that I talked to regretted what they didn't do and what they didn't finish. What they didn't do that they were called to do, you were called to move to another country. Why you got your ass at 72, had a stroke at 69, now you stuck in a nursing home in the United States. Your happy ass shouldn't have been eating United States food anyway. You should have been gone. You shouldn't have been drinking US drinking water. You shouldn't have been in UK dealing with UK meds. None of that. You in a nursing home in the UK. You in a nursing home in Australia. When your happy ass should have been living a healthier life, breathing fresh air in Brazil. Right by the ocean where fresh oxygen comes from, right behind you is the Amazon jungle where you get more fresh air. But no, you still got your ass in Australia some damn where. And you wonder why you got regret at 72, having a major stroke at 69, and now you're in a nursing home. All you guys out there, you ready? Here's another one for the nursing home. All you guys, like I mentioned earlier, you saving and rescuing your kids that's 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 45. You still sending your kids money and they're in their mid 30s. You're still paying for your daughter's cell phone and she's 31. I got a story for you. I told this story a couple weeks ago. True story. I would come in and out of the nursing home on my Saturday morning shift, and I would see just people in wheelchairs and on crutches and everything. And in my mind for months, I thought that they were taking them out because I see the vans out front. So I thought they would take them into the van, take them to the mall in the morning, let them walk, like older people walking through the mall. I thought they were doing that with them. I thought they were taking them to the park to let them get some fresh air away from the nursing home. I thought they were taking them. This is what I'm thinking. Every Saturday morning, I'm seeing the older people out there, like 10, 15, 20 people, and I'm walking past. One day, I just so happened to ask the lady that worked at the front desk, because I was cool with her. I said, where they going today? She said, who? I said, all the people that's standing around, woman. I said, are they going to the park today? Are they taking them to the zoo today? Are they taking them to the mall today? Where are they taking them? She said, Andre, what are you talking about? They're not taking these older people anywhere. She said, Andre, these are the people who family members dropped them off in the nursing home and never came back. So every Saturday morning on visitation day, these people are hoping that their family members will come back for them. That's why you see them here every Saturday, hoping that their daughter or sons will take care of them in their old age. And they never did. So while you motherfuckers still trying to rescue grown ass adults that's your kids, you better think about that story, because y'all got some kids that y'all taking care of won't give a damn about you when you get old. But there's some people in Mexico. There's a family up. In my case, forget about Mexico, Andre's case. The first thing I told Andrea's father, I am not looking for a wife. I'm looking for a family. And if the whole family does not meet my requirements, I'll go to another woman that has the woman qualities and the family that I need. I am in my 50s. I need a family when I see them taking care of older people, because someday I'm gonna be an older person. And if I don't have any kids with Andrea, who gonna take care of Andre? Or if something happens to Andrea and I, who gonna take care of us? I need a family that's in the habit of taking care of family. And when I saw that in Andrea's family, that her grandma, 94 years old, everybody takes her everywhere. Andrea's 60 plus grandma, she flies and she does whatever she wants. And this family takes care of it. When we got in a small accident, 8 family members showed. Man, when I got in an accident in the States, I didn't have 1 family member show up. A small fender bender here in Colombia, all these motorcycles, a family members show up. When I flew in from the airport, let me see if I got my photo. Let me see if I got my photo. You know, I always got to come with the receipts. When I flew in from the airport, Andrea's family was right there. I had a long flight. It was Christmas. And Andrea's family had showed up for your boy. And I'm looking like, man, ain't nobody gonna be here for your boy. Let me see if I can find that photo. I don't know if I can find it. Let me see. I got some. Yeah. Here we go. Let me blow that photo up. I had a long flight. Man, flight delays, everything. It was rough. I walked around that corner to see this greeting me. Feliz Navidad, Andre. Merry Christmas. They had the banner. The family was out there waiting for your boy in Cali, Colombia heat. I think this was 2019. I'm not worried about being in the nursing home in the States when I got family that care about me. I was so touched. I turned around and I took a photo of that moment. That's the girl Andrea right there in the front. That's her mom in the front. Grandma right next to the mom. This Andrea. This her mom. This her grandma, aunties. This is Camilo, her brother. That's her dad back there, and a bunch of other relatives. Not everybody, but a bunch of other relatives. I got the balloon. Ain't nobody in the States ever gave me a balloon. Ain't nobody in the States. It's hard to get somebody in the States to even meet you at the airport for a ride. Most of us got to get an Uber. Yeah. Y'all know I come with the receipts. So y'all can keep showing y'all little pay for play receipts. That's cool. I ain't got nothing against it. But I keep trying to tell y'all, man, y'all can have whole families down here that got your back.
Then I just move on, dump it, and don't think twice about it, even if I lost a lot of money. And that.
So he's absolutely correct. Finish what you started, unless you like he just said. Right? Ain't nobody in the States gonna give you a balloon. Like he just said, finish what you started, unless it's a venture that you know you got wise counsel that's telling you, brother, that's not gonna work itself out. But you got to stop chasing squirrel.
That's happened to me before.
Be a squirrel. Stop.
Thing number 6. that men do to ruin their lives. And it is when they don't have core values. They have no non-negotiables. They don't have a line in the sand. And here's what happens. When you don't have core values, when you don't have non-negotiables, you begin to just kind of agree with everything. I heard Jordan Peterson say this once. He said he and his wife have a rule. And the rule is this, that they will never agree to something if they don't agree to it. Isn't that brilliant? They will never agree to something if they don't agree with it.
That's right.
In other words, if my wife was like, hey man, we should go to Europe and see this castle and take that tour and do this and do that. And I'm like, man, if I go to Europe, I just want to be able to chill for 10, 15 days. I don't want to take all these tours and move to 10 different hotels over 10 days. But I agreed to it reluctantly because I didn't stand my ground. Guess what? You become this slippery slope where you're just this pushover. And over time, you begin to build resentment towards all the people that you agreed with, but you secretly didn't agree with them. And therefore, you begin to resent them. So if you have core values, if you have non-negotiables, if you have a line in the sand that you're willing to draw on certain things, then guess what? You now become the kind of man who is sure-footed and who is confident in his path in life. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't compromise, right? But that does mean that you ought to have a set of core values. Like as a kid, as a young man, if I had core values and my friends were like, dude, let's go carjack, dude, let's go and rob homes, I would have been like, bro, that's against my core values. It ain't happening, right? But one thing I've taught my son is that, hey man, these are your core values, for our family's core values. And oh, by the way, after 11 o'clock p.m., it's stupid time. And we're not going to hang out at stupid hours with stupid people doing stupid things because you get stupid outcomes, right? It's stupid time. I wish somebody would have told me that because a lot of the shit that I did was after 11 p.m. as a young man, getting in trouble. So I share that with you because if you don't have core values, you don't have a set of non-negotiables, you just say yes to everybody, and then you begin to resent them and hate them, and they see you as like this little jellyfish who is just easily pliable. I don't want to be that guy. And thing number 7 that...
Before he goes to number 7, let's go back to number 6, core values. What is the difference between a river and a flood? Very simple answer. What's the difference between a river and a flood? A river has standards. It has boundaries. A flood does not have standards on one side or the other. It doesn't have boundaries. Some of us come to Colombia, come to Brazil with no standards. As long as she got a big butt and a smile, she can talk you out of anything, talk you into doing anything. There are so many dudes that wouldn't have got drugged if it wasn't for the lookout girl being there. I'm about to explain something to you. You're in Colombia, check. Medellin, check. You're in the club, you meet the little female, check. You about to take her back to your Airbnb, check. You take her back, but she doesn't have a lookout girl, does she? She's the only one there. She tells you, can I invite my cousin? Here, your stupid ass. Let me see what your cousin look. That's your cousin? All of a sudden, all your little standards that you said that you wouldn't let happen in the States, they fall down and everything come flooding in. Why? Sure, you can invite your cousin. Now the cousin comes over. She's kiki cat with you. She's the lookout girl. While the other girl is in the other room mixing the drugs up. They bring the drinks out. You take a sip, and the rest is her story. Yeah, I say her story. It ain't history. It's her story. They were able to, all the time that happens in Colombia. 2 or 3 women come up on y'all and approach y'all, and then all of a sudden your wallet is missing out your back pocket because one of them was a professional pickpocket. Poppy Chulo. You guys gotta be a little bit more wiser when it comes to having standards, and I mean stick by them. If Andrea, as much as and ladylike and beautiful and nice as Andrea is, if she didn't meet my standards, we wouldn't be together. Why? There are too many women in Colombia that I know that I would have found many that would meet my standards. What was one of my standards? I just said it. I mentioned to her dad the first thing Orlando said to me. Orlando said, shout out to Orlando. Orlando said, well, you know it's only one God. This is how he sat there too, like this, right? Well, you know it's only one God. I was like, yes, there's only one God, the Lord himself. He was like, okay, I'm just trying to make sure. He said, you know, my daughter's not one of those women that's out there, those street women that, you know, because he said, I know how foreigners are. Y'all come down here and y'all use our women, then go back home. I say, Orlando, I'm going to tell you something straight out the truth. And this is the first thing I said to him. I said, I am not looking for a wife. I'm looking for a family. So Andrea started crying because that hit her like, he's looking for a family. So I can see her in my peripheral. She crying. Andrea's mom is standing over there. Andrea's grandma next to me. Camilo, her brother, is sitting right by me. And and me and Orlando are talking like nobody else is in the room. I say, listen, I'm not Camilo's age. I say, you a grown man, I'm a grown man. I say, I am looking for a family. I'm coming to a new country by myself. I say, there is so much that I cannot do by myself without a true person being on my side, a good woman and a family dynamic. I heard that here in South America, y'all got good traditional families. That's what I'm trying to be a part of. And then her grandmama said, well, I don't care what you said. I like him. Because we had already met. She had cooked for me before. So the first person I met was grandma, other than Camilo. So I'm just meeting her mom and dad. And I met grandma like on my last trip, right? And so grandma say, I don't care what y'all got to say. I like him. But he respected the fact that I had standards. And I respect the fact that he has standards for his daughter. Not any type of man could walk into their family just because you're an American, just because you're a Canadian, just because you are a European. You could just walk into the family. They were a family of, and are a family of people with standards. And I'm a man of standards. And that worked just right. 6 years later, no issues, no problems. And anytime I need help with anything, Camilo was right there. Orlando was right there. Me and her mom talk all the time. Right there. They're now all up under us in our space. Her dad is yet to come over to the new place. I'm surprised Orlando ain't been here yet. Mom came over in his last week once just to see the apartment. I'm not anybody special. When I tell my stories, you guys know I'm just a regular East Side dude from Detroit. Let's be real with it. Cameras off. That's just a regular dude from a regular neighborhood. That's Andre, just a regular guy. What's my point? Have standards about yourself, and that'll make you different from all the other brothers that's getting off the plane. Even if your standards is just having some common sense. Let's go back and listen to what he has to say, what number 7 is. And shout out to my man Timothy. Timothy said, we had too much in common, Andre. Squirrel farm. Yeah, man, that squirrel farming held me back so much, man. I'm chasing everything and ain't accomplishing nothing. Number 7.
Men do to ruin their lives is that they don't keep a brotherhood of like-minded men around them. They don't have a band of brothers. They are not part of a tribe. The thing that men do that really ruins their life is that they live like an island. You act like a lone wolf. You are not meant to be a lone wolf. You are not meant to be an island. You are meant to find like-minded dudes who share your core values. Yet another reason to have core values and non-negotiables. Because if you're like, dude, these are my core values, these are my non-negotiables, this is how I roll in life, I'm an extreme, unreasonable, impatient motherfucker that wants to make a lot of money, be fit and jacked, be self-actualized and self-disciplined, and do a lot of good for humanity. And I find other dudes like that to connect with. That's my tribe. That's my band of brothers. That is the brotherhood that I belong to. Like, that's why we have that modern day night project brotherhood. All of a sudden, the dudes don't feel like islands anymore. You're not meant to be an island. From the beginning of man, beginning of time, we were tribal. We hunted as a tribe. We survived as a tribe in a community. So find your band of brothers. But to find your band of brothers, you must put yourself out there, and you must have a set of core values that you can test another group of men against. And if they have your core values, get in that group. Don't be an island. Don't be a lone wolf, suffering in silence, white knuckling through life, and just desperately hoping that things will change. Like, hope is not a game plan.
That's the end of the video. He's absolutely correct. And that's a great way to end it with number 7. The number 7 way that men, the 7th way in which a man F-ups his life is trying to do everything by yourself. Brothers, don't do that. Find dudes that have your values and follow that tribe. He's 100% correct. Even, I'm going to say this, say it like this. Even if the guys that are part of your tribe or your future tribe are not the guys you get off the plane with. Oh, y'all didn't think I was going to hit y'all with the fact that your boys that you on the plane with don't necessarily mean that's going to be the boy. Some of your partners are excellent partners for the vacation you. Some of you got some partners, man, they are the best homeboys when it's time to party in Sosua or Colombia or Brazil. They are perfect for that. Until your ass decide that you want to relocate, and they are the worst partners to have when it comes to relocating. So now you have to find another band of brothers through WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, the app Passport Bros that think just like you think. They're looking to move to Portugal while you're looking to move to Brazil. They're looking to move to Philippines while you're looking to move to Cambodia. All of us are looking to relocate somewhere so we can learn off of each other and keep each other encouraged until each person moves. But your vacation partners, them Negroes ain't gonna do that. They could give less than a damn about you moving. I'm gonna say that again. If you think that your vacation partners give a damn about you moving to Medellin, they don't. And they never will, and they're not supposed to. Your vacation partners are not supposed to care about you moving to Medellin. Your new relocation partners that you're establishing are supposed to care about you moving to Medellin. Some of your relocation partners are dudes that already live in Medellin. Some of your relocation partners are some of the locals of Medellin, male and female. Some of your relocation partners are people that lived in another country, still live in the States, but they can tell you how it was when they moved outside the United States. You got relocation partners now. You got me to encourage you and other guys to encourage you on your relocation journey. But your vacation partners, them dudes are only good for vacationing. When I was just a vacationer, that's all I needed was a vacation partner. Ace Live was my vacation partner. But Ace wasn't relocating like I am. So therefore, Ace became other guys' vacation partner, and I looked for other relocation partners. Not saying me and Ace are enemies. What I'm saying is that I needed somebody that was looking to relocate, not just to vacate in another country. And so that's when I started reaching out to Domain of Let's Learn Spanish TV. He had lived in Cali, Colombia. Ace had interviewed him. Me and Domain, cool. I could ask Domain all type of questions about what is it like to live in Cali, not just ask Andrea. Don't never get it twisted that your partners for one venture of your life or one area of your life are meant to be in every area of your life. But you definitely need, like he just said, you definitely need to do it with some partners. Do not try to do it alone. Shout out to you guys being here. My man DJ says this. He says this is one. He said this one hits hard. He said long-term brotherhood is hard to find. This is absolutely correct. The one thing that I can say about us down here in Cali, and I know some of you guys can say that in other countries, we are really a close-knit group. We don't be in each other's business, but yet we're there for each other. I got guys down here in Cali. I'll hit them up. I say, man, I'm just checking in. Tell me how your son is doing. I know you got a newborn. You've had your son for 3 years. Tell me how your son is doing. I've been checking in with you for 2.5 years. Well, Dre, thanks for calling, man. My son's doing great, blah, 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 so forth and so forth. Network. They're not isolated. I got one brother called me. He said, because they just had a son, right? He said, Dre, I'm so glad you called me. I said, why? He said, man, I haven't spoken to an English speaker outside of my parents. He said about 9 months. He said, all I hear is Spanish. I said, well, welcome to a Spanish country. He said, man, so I'm glad when you called me, man, I could just hear from a brother from the States. Because he stays, you know, he was here for a minute, but then they moved to another location and here in Colombia. So shout out to you guys. He said, if you live dysfunctional environment like me, it doesn't get easier at all. Yeah, man, I know that feeling, Ray. I know that feeling. Oh, Roy, my bad. I said Ray, but Roy. All right, guys, we're going to end this live stream right here. Just want to encourage you guys that there are 7 ways in which a man can mess his life up. But those 7 ways, if turned around, can be the tools that you can use to take your life to the next level. It's your boy Andre of Andre and Andre's Love Crossing Borders. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's get this out. Let's not trust Timothy with the outro at all. And let me get this outro set up for you guys. I got one. The one that we hadn't looked at in a while. There we go.
Perfect.